5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Indie Wrestling Experience with Bob and John. I am Bob. John, what is up, man?
What is going on, everybody?
Well, got someone else with us tonight. We're going to start the show off hot. But before I get to that, we have multiple guests tonight. We have Dr. Lauryn Zirconium coming on. He's going to tell us about Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators' next event. I'm getting better at this. Next event.
My man.
On June 28th. And he'll also fill us in on a little bit more about what happened at wRAHstlemania and the other event that happened 2 days after. We should also have Sampson coming on later tonight. Like I said, we had a little scheduling snafu last week, but I think we got it figured out. And Sampson said he's got a direct response to Tully Bertarelli's comments from a couple of weeks ago. But before we get to all of that, let me bring on our other special guest to help us start the show. My daughter, Lauryn. Welcome back to the show, Lauryn.
Hello.
Hey, Lauryn.
So Lauryn, I brought you on because we went to MCW on Saturday night. It was MCW Higher Ground at the RJ Meyer Arena in Joppa, right next to Anastasia's, your sister's favorite flea market. And let me start here. What did you think? What did you think of let's say, the fans in attendance and some of the people you interacted with?
Okay, they were fine. I guess. I didn't like most of the people there. I was not a big fan. Anna barked at a dude, just for looking at her funny. I don't really know why she did that.
Hold on, I'm jumping in though because I want to clear this up for everybody and for John. So we're walking to the bathroom. We get there first. We're walking to the bathroom, and this weird-looking dude just starts talking like he's trying to talk to my daughters, which I.
That's not the dude she barked at.
That's not the dude she barked at. Who'd she bark at?
No, she barked at. We were going to our seats, and this dude on the end looked at her funny, so she barked at him.
Oh, I thought she said she saw that other guy again and barked at him.
Oh, is that what? I don't know.
Anyway, there was a guy, John, and he was at the bathroom, and he said something like, "Hey, ladies," as my daughter walked by. It was kind of creepy. And then, when they didn't speak to him, he mumbled something under his breath.
He pulled out the Val Venus on him?
He tried. He did. Hello. And then he mumbled something under his breath, shitty, you know what I mean, when they didn't speak back to him. So I thought Anna said she saw him again, and she barked at him to make sure that he knew not to come over or speak to them ever again. That was what I thought happened. Lauryn, no? Is that not?
That's not what I remember.
Well, you tell me what you remember. I'm the old man with the terrible memory.
I just remember walking, because she was behind me, right? And so I just remember walking and hearing someone bark, and I turned around because I thought someone barked at me. She was like, no, this dude looked at me funny, so I barked at him. That's what I... But I don't think that's the only person she barked at. I'm sure she barked at more people.
Oh my gosh.
Listen, Lauryn, that doesn't sound very dissimilar to, your dad and I took my wife, January, to a show, and she was a little, January's never been to a show. So January was a little bit weirded out, let's just say. She's not used to the wrestling masses. We'll call them that nicely.
Yes. Yeah, the reason the wrestling mass is the reason the women's bathrooms are always empty at every event. That was the first comment, John. I think I may have told you before. That's the first comment Lauryn made to me when we went to AEW. She's like, "Oh, there's a dual comment." She said, "This place stinks, and women's bathrooms are completely empty." Oh, there's no line at the bathroom.
Right. Sounds about right.
Oh my gosh! Well, I want to go on and talk about a couple of these matches. And I'm going to start with the first match here. Lauryn, because the first match was that tag team match. That was Chris Slade and Alex Devine against Dustin Waller and Danny Grandview. And I know that really your take on this entire match probably just has to do with Danny Grandview and his manager.
Less Danny Grandview, more his manager. If you want to hear about Danny Grandview, you gotta talk to Anna about that one.
Yeah, that's true. Anna did say she did say Danny Grandview was quite the looker. Let's just say that.
His manager's a baddie though. That's it's really what I watched. I didn't really watch the match, you know. I really just
Tell me, try to explain to these fans that are old like me and John. What do you mean by a baddie?
like very attractive.
Dresses well.
Oh, see,
I'm like,
your dad
sure,
and your dad and I would have
it.
thought you meant she didn't do her homework, or she talked back to her parents. That we're old, so you gotta paint us a picture, Lauryn.
No,
Well-
no. A baddie is just someone who's like really, really hot, truly.
Yeah, I don't know, John. I don't know if did I send you any pictures of the new manager that he's got, Danny Grandview?
So this isn't the manager we saw, the volleyball player, the tall girl.
No, this one's much
Because
shorter.
she was, as Lauryn describes, she would be described as a baddie then, because she was the very attractive young lady that we saw before, that you and I couldn't quite figure out the dynamic of, okay,
Yep.
that doesn't match up. So
Yep.
so he has a type. So he has a type where was what I'm understanding.
Well, I showed you that picture, Lauryn, of the other manager he had, right?
Yeah.
So she's a baddie too, right?
Yep.
So he traded one baddie in for another. So maybe Anna's onto something. Maybe he's a good-looking boy, but I'm
Well,
not commenting on that shit.
Lauryn, was this baddie a little more his size? Did they match up a little better? Because the last one really was Jack and the Beanstalk kind of situation going on.
She was shorter for sure.
Okay.
Yep. John, I'll throw in after the match. Who won this match? Slade. Oh yeah, Slade and Alex Devine win the match. They did a ton of
Nice.
flippy stuff, which was so cool. Like they did a lot of really cool moves, as you would expect from those two guys. But after the match,
Dude.
King McBride is there. He's back, and he's
Oh,
backstage
okay.
with his kid. Doing the old. I'm just here to visit with my kid. I'm just here with my family. I'm not here to get involved in any. And then, of course, naturally, he gets involved in shenanigans. Danny Grandview confronts him
Oh,
backstage,
shoot.
and then Danny Grandview and Ryan McBride are fighting backstage. So I hope when we go to we go to the Shamrock Cup that's a part of the card.
Yes, I'm looking forward to the Shamrock Cup. I'm in. British is in. So we're gonna make a trip, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Japahorn.
Let's see, what else do we have? So Amara Void was the next match against Tina San Antonio. Not a lot going on in this match. Amara looked really good, at least for me, my opinion. Amara looked good. She wins with sort of a Davey Boy Smith power slam, which was not something I was expecting.
Okay, all right.
And but it was pretty cool. What'd you think of it, Lauryn?
Both baddies. They were so. I thought it was pretty good, but I don't know. That's just me. I enjoyed it.
Well, it's just me. You and I are the only ones on here talking about whether we enjoyed it. So you're half the opinion here. But I'll move
Listen,
on.
if Amara Void's in the match, then it's hard not to enjoy it because that girl can wrestle.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
100%. Let's see. Then we moved on. We had Spencer Slade and Tony Macco with the Dolomag Dojo, and they look like they're expanding. Like it looks like there's more of them now, John. But
Awesome.
they were out doing their thing. The dojo gets involved in the match, but Slade overcomes. Slade wins with an ankle lock, and then after the match, the entire dojo attacks him, and Slade puts the ankle lock on two of them at the same time, which was freaking awesome.
Cool.
Then just at that moment, Lauren's favorite, the Velveteen Dream, Patrick Clark, who wasn't on the card, makes his appearance, comes down, attacks Slade, just a brutal beatdown, drops that Macho Man elbow on him. Where are you on Velveteen Dream, Boog? How'd you like this?
First of all, stop telling people Velveteen Dream's my favorite. That's not true. This is a misconception. We need to clear this up. Did I want to buy the Velveteen Dream belt that he had there? Yeah. But that doesn't mean that he's my favorite.
That was before you got sidetracked by Matt Riddle, just sitting right next to him.
Bro.
Now, Anastasia told me that Matt Riddle needs to put away his piggies, meaning he needs to stop wearing sandals or flip-flops.
Well, yeah. Because he kicks him off, too. He wrestles without the sandals.
Yeah, no. It's,
he goes full Von Erich, does he? Okay.
Yeah, he does. But yeah, so Dream comes down, does the thing. We thought that was the last time we were going to see Dream that night. We thought that was the angle they were setting up, but I guess it is. But we'd see Slade and Dream both later.
Okay.
What else we got? Mecca and Jadis.
Good.
First of all, my opinion on this. Hellfire McGuire being with Mecca now. Like, we're used to seeing him as the mouthpiece and the best friend of Miami Mike. But now he's with Mecca. He's changed his cadence. He's changed the tone in his voice or something. It matches Mecca more. I don't know. It's like a little detail that like really caught my attention. Like, he's giving.
I know we enjoyed it when we watched him down in Hollywood. So, I guess he's continuing to evolve. That's awesome because I mean, when we saw him with Mecca down there a couple months ago, I mean, it fit great. It just fit great. So yeah, I can only imagine that time together is making it even more.
What was I going to say? Oh, I know. So Jadis is accompanied to the ring by Simone Valentina, and we got another similar opinion coming here. But what are your thoughts on Simone Valentina, Lauryn?
Well, see, now I gotta try and think of a different word now. She, I can't think. She's a baddie. I can't think of another one. That's all I can really think of.
The outfit.
Can't think of another. I don't fully remember what she was wearing, to be honest with you.
Okay, I'm just trying to help you. I'm trying to think of other things. Then she also got involved in the match. Do you remember she jumped in the ring and then she speared Hellfire McGuire right out of his shoes, which was freaking awesome. Let's see what else we got. Okay, so then we got the Devil's Business against Ryan Zukko and Kaz Lee. The Devil's. So I guess the way they promoted this match, John, was Kaz used to be a member of the Hype. Ryan used to be a member of the Zukkos. Right. They were both tag champions. Now let's put them together and see what they can do.
Okay.
But the whole thing was a backdrop, because the Devil's Business do their deal. Lauryn, John has seen AK Bane and that eye of his and that look he does. So he knows what you're talking about. What did you think of that guy?
It was shocking. I remember you looking at you looked to me and Anna and you were like, you gotta wait till this dude turns around. And I was like, there's no way his face is like that. Like, there's no way. I was like, this feels like a little, like, I feel like what's happening. And then he turned around and I was like, oh, that's insane. It was just like, I was just like shocked.
Yeah, he's good. I've liked him the few times I've seen him. He's crazy. Did they do the crazy tagging in and out again, the chopping each other?
Yeah, a little bit.
I love it. It's just such a little detail. It's just great.
Oh, it absolutely is. But the whole thing was a backdrop, John, because the Devil's Business wins the match pretty convincingly. It doesn't go on too long. Kaz did look good on the hot tag. I made a note of that. But after the match, Devil's Business wins. They do that double choke slam thing. Mm-hmm. And then they decided to just keep beating down Kaz and Ryan Zukko. The place goes dark. The video screen hits. And right by us, Now we're on the opposite side, John. We're like I'm staring at the entrance ramp from where I'm sitting,
Okay.
across from it, and
Okay.
all of a sudden, running up the aisle next to me, I see this figure. The lights come on. It's Ronnie Zukko. He's back, and
Oh, he's back.
Ryan and Ronnie take it, get some kendo sticks, take it to the Devil's Business, and they're already challenging him to a match. And I guess really the funny thing that I remember from this match is telling my girls, because their mother is such a fan of Grease. I got to inform my kids that the Zuko is a name from Greece. Was it Danny Zuko maybe, or
Right.
something like that? I only know because my
I
ex-wife
think it
watched
was
it so many
Danny.
damn times.
Yeah, I think it was Danny.
Yep. Are you excited to have Ronnie Zukko and the Zukkos back, Lauren, or do you care?
Hell yeah.
It always surprises me.
Well, okay, little comment here. I've never watched Grease. I don't know why Mom made you watch Grease so much. She's never made me watch Grease. She's brought it up like once or twice. She's never made me watch Grease. So you ask her about it, and I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Absolutely. Yeah, I had them text their mom during the show. She knew exactly what we were talking about.
No, Lord.
What else? We had a bunch of matches, man. Yo, they didn't even take a break. John, they didn't take a break. They took a break. They took one intermission to put the steel cage up for the last match, but everything else ran straight through, man.
Wow.
This was just nonstop. They follow us out. Oh, Alec Oden defending the Rage TV title against Brandon Scott. Brandon is old faithful, man. He's been around for a long time, and you know he's going to help put on a good match, but I don't think anybody thought he was going to win. And he didn't. Alec hits the sit-out power bomb.
Oof.
And it's over.
That is nasty too. Oh.
Yeah. I did see there was a moment where Odin jumped off the top and Brandon caught him in a cutter coming off the top rope, which was a really cool move.
Nice.
Alec is just, I think you and I talk about this, John. Alec Odin looks bigger every time we see him. Bigger, more in shape, more cut, something.
He is that picture of, you always see him in what pops in my mind, I know what pops in your mind is Vince's airport test.
Yes.
Is it a guy that's going to make you stop in the airport? And I'll tell you what, if Odin's walking in the airport, I'm going, my God.
Yep. Where did they put? Oh, it's down here. Okay. I see. Okay, so we're going to go back to that in a second. So then this is when we thought there was going to be a break, but there wasn't. They go to the Four Corners tag match. James Ellsworth and Jeff Gaines, all natural. Zakar Shaw and Aristote. Nikita and Phoenix Fury. And the former Voltage Tag Team champions, Nice and Smooth. Four-way.
Oh, okay.
Four-way tag. Book, did you have anything specific from that match that stood out to you, or that you, Ellsworth, or anything?
Not specifically. Nothing stood out as being crazy to me.
Right. At the end, though.
Except for the end, I guess.
Right. At the end, Ellsworth turns on Gaines. I don't know if you remember. He turned on in December. He turned on Simone. He and Jeff turned on Simone. Yep. And now he's turned on Jeff Gaines and says, Jeff Gaines is worthless. Now he doesn't need Jeff Gaines either. He's got some other guy with him called, trying to find his name, Justice. And then Aristote joins Ellsworth in place of Gaines. Ellsworth and Aristote then look at Zakar Shaw, who was his tag team partner in the match. But Zakar was like, screw you guys, I'm going home. And he didn't want to be a part of it. But Aristote has now replaced Jeff Gaines in the stable with Ellsworth. Man. After that, I guess after the next match, we saw Tara Meyer backstage with Ellsworth. And she caught up and she said, look, this is ridiculous what you guys do. So I know that you've added Big Trouble Ben Bishop to your stable as well. So at the Shamrock Cup, John, we're going to get Ellsworth, Big Trouble Ben Bishop, and Aristote versus Simone Valentina, Baron Corbin, and Shotzi Blackheart.
Damn, son.
Yeah, what's up?
Whew, my goodness. That's a tasty little match there.
Oh man, Boog, are you a Shotzi fan or a Baron Corbin fan?
I do really like Shotzi. I'm not gonna lie. I remember her. She had a tank. She had green hair. I thought she was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that was always my take, but they never ever did anything with her, unfortunately.
They didn't. They didn't. Um, so then we get this triple threat: Brad Baylor, WWE ID prospect, versus Matt
Right.
Riddle versus Miami Mike, which we were all looking forward to. Anastasia makes the comment that Riddle needs to put some shoes on, keep his piggies covered. But Riddle was outstanding. I thought it was the best match of the night to that point. What'd you think, Boog? Lauren?
I thought it was good. I didn't like the kid in front of me who was shouting RKO the entire match, but
But he
I
hit
did
it.
enjoy. He did hit it. A little bit upset. I really didn't want him to, just because the kid wanted him to. So
So she had heat with the kid
really
sitting in front of her the whole night because this kid is jumping up and
Listen,
down.
it's probably a good thing we didn't have Lauren with us when we went to Hollywood and we had old Sloppy Joe's next to us. Because
Oh,
man, Lauren, you might have lost it, my friend.
bro, were there sloppy Joe chants too, Boog?
yes.
You did get the Sloppy Joe's. Oh my goodness,
One
Lauren,
dude had
it
a
was
sign of it.
crazy. So the guy sitting next to your dad in Hollywood actually brought a can of Sloppy Joe mix. And he was the only one in a room of probably 300 people shouting Sloppy Joe, and
with
nobody would join him. And
with his
you could hear
can
a
in the
pin
air.
drop it. It was so uncomfortable. I couldn't believe your grandfather didn't kill him.
I mean, I think it's because he can't hear out of his right ear.
What?
Exactly right. Thank God. Hey, that saved you and me a few times too. So
Yes, it did.
The note I made was Brad Baylor really works the crowd very well, and he is so young. When I say baby face, I don't mean good guy. He's got the baby face. I mean,
Right.
it was making me feel old, John, just looking at this kid. And then he's so polished I mean, he's an ID prospect, so of course he's got something, right? But I mean, you and I talk about this all the time about, oh, well, when these guys got in the ring, you could see everything level up.
Mm-hmm.
Miami Mike, an ID prospect, and Matt Riddle, they leveled it right up, man. You
Wow.
could feel it. You feel the energy in the building, which was already super hot. Don't get me wrong. Super hot the whole way. This crowd was hot. But when Riddle and Miami Mike and Brad Baylor started going, it was just, I mean, everybody was on their feet for half the match. Baylor and Mike going back and forth with near falls that looked like it was going to
Mm-hmm.
end the match a bunch of times. And then, of course, Riddle comes in, hits the RKO and the forward tombstone after Baylor does most of the work. So, cool. Good ending or whatever. But those guys gave us all, I mean, that was worth the money, the price of admission all by itself, I thought. What'd you think, Boog?
Man,
Lauren,
that sounded.
what'd you think? Just a good match? Anything else?
Yeah, I would say so. I thought it was a good match, and then I also had Anna in my ear telling me that they were all baddies the entire time, and so that wasn't that. It was a little distracting, and
Wait, she's talking
she said
about
the entire
Baylor and Riddle and Miami Mike are all baddies?
yes.
I didn't hear any of this.
You
Thank
didn't hear that
goodness.
at all? Oh, it was the one that she talked about the most.
I'm glad I didn't hear any of that.
She talked about Brad Baylor into the main event.
I had no idea. Now that may have been so, John. So we're sitting on the corner. Like I got
Mhm.
the aisle seat. They got the two next to me, and I'm having trouble
Right.
taking pictures from the ring post. So I am getting up every match, and they're laughing at me, and I'm going behind the seats to the middle of the section, standing on the wall, so I can take pictures middle on.
Right.
But that was me being ridiculous. I did take 1,500 pictures, but that happens from time to time. Yeah. Okay. So They did also, I wanted to say this, they announced some folks for the Shamrock Cup. And Lauryn, I don't know if you can help me out here because I'm having a hard time remembering most of the ones they announced. But as I'm looking here, I see they've already announced Jadis Quinn versus Aaron Rourke in a Shamrock Cup match. And then they've also announced the Zukkos and the Devil's Business for the tag titles at the Shamrock Cup. But they announced a bunch of the people that are in the cup when we were there, and I'm having trouble remembering some of them. Do you remember any more, Lauryn?
I want to say one of them. I want to say they announced Grandview, but
Okay.
I don't remember who they said he was going to fight. That's really all I remember though. I don't remember really most of them.
Yeah, they flashed them on the screen, John, like between every match they would announce like two.
Mm-hmm.
And so like it was like two, and then you go through a match of two more. So it's like I wish I'd made better notes on who they were. Did I make any notes at the bottom here? Nope. I will. Well, I guess I didn't. But it looks like it's going to be a good cup. I thought I saw Sidney Hakeem. Didn't we at some point, Lawrence, see the former not Scripps, Reggie?
Did we?
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't want to speak out of turn, but I thought I saw him on there, Sidney Hakeem, at some point. But I go through so many shows, I could have made a mistake. Anyway, I'll announce it later. I'll put it up later. I'll put it somewhere for people to see. Of course, it'll be on the MCW website anyway. So don't follow me, follow them. So the final match, the main event, Steel Cage, Ken Dixon, Joseph Keys for the belt. The main event was long. It was good. It built slowly. Dixon and Keys, John, those are the men. I mean, they got it going on. The one thing I remember from the middle of the match, well, I do remember that Ken Dixon climbed the cage on the outside and drank a beer before the match started. And then during the match, at one point, Dante Caballero gives Joe Keys a chain link through the cage. Keys wraps it around his neck and starts choking him. Then he hands each side of the chain back out. So you've got the Hustlers and Dante all have a piece of this chain from the outside, and they're pulling Ken Dixon backwards into the cage and choking him at the same time, just holding him in place for what felt like forever before he finally broke loose. They were just holding him in place. Keys is arguing with the referee, standing on the other side of the ring, just having a good old time, and they're just choking the shit out of Ken Dixon, man. What did you think of the match? What did you note from the match book?
I do remember thinking that they choked him for a really long time. It was like 5 minutes. Like it was a long time that he was just like there. It was insane. I remember they waited a really long time to get Ken Dixon some help. It was really like 6-on-1 for like a majority of the match, and then right at the end they brought out like two guys to help him, and I was like, dude, like a little bit late there.
Yeah, it got to be crowded in the ring, John. So Dixon and Keys are in. Then of course Caballero ends up in the cage. The Hustlers end up in the cage, and then who came down first? Dream? Dante hits a lariat on him. They're chanting Sloppy Joe. Key slams the door on Dixon. Yes, and then the Dream comes down. Dream gets involved. He confronts Keys in the cage. And then, Dream confronts Ken Dixon in the cage. Keys comes up from behind while Dream and Dixon are going at it. Low blows Dixon. Yeah, then Dixon, the Hustlers, and Dream all jump on, and they're starting to beat Dante. They're all just piling on. Eventually, Spencer Slade comes out. He neutralizes the Dream. They go back to the locker room, but then Keys pushes Dixon into the cage forward, and then an O'Connor roll backwards to pick up the win. They go back to beating the hell out of him. That's when Matt Riddle comes back out, saves everybody, hits a cutter as we were leaving. We didn't expect Riddle to come back out. But after that, they announced John Riddle and Riddle and Joe Keys in Dundalk, July 27th for the belt.
Oh, shoot. Dundalk, man's picking back up.
I'm ready. I'm ready. You know, that's my old stomping grounds. I used to go shopping at that flea market for years. And I guess those were the years that MCW was away because I don't remember them being there when I was there. But shit,
Right.
I'm ready to go back to the old hood, man. The old neighborhood.
There you go.
Well, Lauryn, you got any other thoughts on this before we let you go? Get to Dr. Zirconium?
Let me think. I wanted to fight a few crowd people. Well, I said I wanted to curb stomp the kid in front of me.
Yes. He was irritating you the entire time. This kid's like 10, John.
And he kept looking at me. He kept looking at me, and so I would just death stare him. It was great.
I love
it. Grand.
I love it. Oh man. Well, so where do we want to sit, Lauryn, for Shamrock Cup? Tell John now so we can get our tickets. Same side?
Front row.
Same side? You like that side?
I do like that side, yeah.
All right, I'm in.
Cool. What about British?
He can sit in the parking lot.
No, I'm serious. Am I buying him a ticket or not?
Yeah. British is going. So we got British. We're gonna take him, get the English perspective.
Oh yeah, you're gonna love British Greg, Lauryn.
Is he actually British?
Yeah.
Very. I don't know if very is a thing, but yes, very British.
Cheerio.
He certainly is. He sure as hell is. Oh my goodness.
If he's not, he's very convincing.
All right. Well, Lauryn, listen, thank you for coming on the show. I know that we tried to get your sister on and she backed out, so I appreciate you not backing out. And we'll have you on again soon, huh?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
We'll see.
Thanks, Lauryn.
You gotta let me talk about my titles.
Your titles.
Yes.
Oh yes, we got to have that belt conversation. John's already
Yes,
aware
we
of
do.
your opinions.
Yeah,
we got to do that. We got to do that belt roundtable soon. So we'll do that next time we have you back, Lauryn. Okay.
Alrighty.
All right. Thanks.
All right, Lauryn. See
Talk
you
to next
later.
time.
See ya.
I told you, John, my daughter always has opinions. You never know if they're wrestling related or not,
Dude,
but they're always opinions.
I'm glad she just let me keep my seat, man.
I don't think she's got any interest in it, bro. I had to work to get her on here for this.
Well, she did great. Lauryn, awesome job. Thank you.
Yeah, always good having Lauryn on, man. I love it. She's absolutely hilarious. What else did I say? Oh, I had some news and notes while we're waiting on Dr. Zirconium to be ready. No, go close that. Don't do that. No. Some other stuff that I saw, John, while I was putting the episode together. One of the things was, I think I sent this to you in a text last night, but Prestige Wrestling, I think one of the words I used to you were Prestige Wrestling wins the Indies for July. And the only reason is they made an announcement of a show in July featuring a tag match, The Inspiration, the former Iconics, versus Elena Black, the former Cora Jade, and B. Priestley, the former Blair Davenport.
Priestley.
My God, that's going to be awesome.
That's fire, man. That's 4 professionals that know what they're doing that are going to put on a hell of a match.
But yeah, that match is going to be fantastic. They actually posted the rest of the card, John. And I guess we'll preview it as it gets closer to it because I got Dr. Zirconium ready to come on and check us out. But that show in July, John, looks like it's going to be absolutely fantastic. I'll come back to that later. But we just talked about the Iconics last week, or the Inspiration, and I was really cool to see them not just back in Impact, but back on the Indies and working matches. I'm juiced.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
All right, I think it's time. I think we got Dr. Zirconium ready to come on. Let me check here. All right. Well, we promised him, John. He is back. Dr. Lauryn Zirconium, welcome back to the show. Good to have you back on.
Thank you very much. I've been looking forward to this. I always love talking to you guys. It's always a lot of fun, and we got a lot to talk about at DAWG Pro Wrestling.
Yes, yes. So let's just get right into it. The last time you were on the show, you were see, we do shows, but when you last were on, you were staring down the barrel at back-to-back 2 events in 3 days, April 17th and April 19th. April 17th being the wRAHstlemania. So I'm going to start there because you sent us the copy of the main event. I don't know if it's the main event, but the DAWG versus Goldie match. And I know you heard that we talked about it. We were super impressed with that match. Those two guys are superstars. The whole match was just put together so well, and those guys are fantastic.
Oh yeah, David Goldie, he is a future star in the making. He's been a highlight for DAWG since he's been here. He's wrestled for us at Rowan University. I think he's still undefeated at Rowan University, and he's from Rowan. He actually graduated there. So this was a homecoming to him in the main event against former WWE superstar Donovan Dijak. He won the championship at Rowan, and he successfully defended it a year later at Rowan.
Oh, wow.
So it's a big deal, I think. That match was really good. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, we did too. And I think
I can't.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
sorry.
I can't wait. I'm gonna say I can't wait to see what's up next for both. Well, first of all, Dijak, I don't know why he's not signed somewhere. He needs to be somewhere big, and I don't mean AEW, please. I mean someone that actually could use him. And Goldie, it won't be long before I think we'll be seeing him in a major company.
I agree
on that one as well.
Yeah, and I may have mentioned to you before, Dr. Z, that I saw the first time I saw Goldie was at the Monster Factory, and he was on his way, I think, out to start with New Japan Strong at that point. This must have been 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago, and he was a star to me then. I'm surprised I haven't seen him more on TV already. That's how good when I say he leaps off the page, you know what I mean? It's right in your face how good he is.
Speaking of leaping, like he had a big crossroads in a altercation with Cody Rhodes, and that got a lot of positive publicity. That went viral. And unfortunately, with AEW, nobody pays attention to that because watching AEW is kind of like being in the witness protection program sometimes. But him and former DAWG champion Ray Jazz were a tag team. I believe it was either an AEW or Ring of Honor match. I forget exactly. And he took another big, huge bump outside the ring over the top rope that I think I really want you guys to go out find. I mean, you'll probably if both of you look, you'll quadruple the AEW's YouTube views.
I'd like to argue, but I can't.
It's really, really good, and it's Well, at least if you actually. If YouTube views turned into attendance, they'd probably do really well.
Oh man! Whew.
No, I'm only teasing. But no, I really wish you go out of the way and check that out too, because Goldie, he's got something special. It's funny too, because I remember him as a skinny little kid asking for supplement advice inside of a GNC. He was skinny and he couldn't stop smiling. You could have told him his ass was on fire and he'd still smile.
That's good. Camera ready.
Yeah. So now he's put on a lot of muscle. And he always had the size. He's really gotten good at the ring, and I can't wait to see. In fact, when I tell you later, I'll tell you about his match coming up at the later after we talk about this. The match coming up on June 28th at the Sacred Heart Church, located at 103 4th Street in beautiful historic Riverton, New Jersey. That's later.
Yes, we'll get to that. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to hearing all about that event coming up here June 28th. One of the other things from the wRAHstlemania that obviously stood out, especially since we talked about it when you were on last, about Breaker and his title run. It came to an end at wRAHstlemania. You've got a new champion, Vinny the Fixer. Tell us about it.
Vinny the Fixer, as he's now calling himself, the Hands of Stone. Personally, I think we should call him the Hands of Brass, because it seems he might have pulled a little some brass help out of his trunks. But he's already wrestled twice. He won the championship on the 28th I'm sorry, not 28th, on the 17th of April, and he defended it 2 days later at the Nerd Force Fan Fest. And he's, again, used that knockout power that he has to win both matches. And he actually has 2 matches coming up real soon. He's defending the DAWG Championship for Mid-Atlantic Wrestling Alliance, MAWA, this Saturday, the 21st of June. And then if he's still champion after that, he will be defending it on June 28th. So he's very good. He's an old school professional wrestler. He reminds me a lot of Tully Blanchard. It's been a while since he's been so serious and been so nasty. I think that's always been his way, but the goofiness of Patch kind of brought out the insanity of him. Now that Patch is no longer retired and no longer with the company, I think we're seeing that nasty, cruel streak that Vinny always kind of had in him.
Right. I'm here for that. I'll take that.
Absolutely.
In that match also, Dr. Zirconium was obviously Breaker and Vinny. And I've seen Nick Batee at the Monster Factory as well. But one guy that I don't really know too much about, Nikos Rikos. Tell me about Nikos Rikos.
Yes. Has the best ring gear in wrestling, doesn't he?
Yeah. And I did see the photos. Yeah.
Looks good.
Best ring gear in wrestling. I guess what happened is they didn't have enough material to complete it, so they just had to wear what he had.
Hey, look, the WNBA ladies are wearing those sleeves down the one leg. So, I mean, he could fit in.
I think it was What Culture Wrestling put him on the list of some of the worst independent wrestling outfits.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, that's good company.
Which, of course, he took as a badge of honor.
Of course,
of
I would
course.
too.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen much
But
of
no,
Nikos.
Rikos, the Greek Pitbull, he's very, very good. Very talented. I would recommend you go out of your way to find him. He'll be back in DAWG soon. He is actually his first match back. He was out for a major, major reconstructive knee injury. Might have been at least career threatening. And that was his first match back since then. And of course, his reputation got him in that championship match. And he held his own. When he gets maybe his win back under him, he'll be a serious threat to any championship in Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators and any championship out there. So keep an eye on him. He's very good and talented inside that squared circle.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, like I said, I don't want to go through match by match, but the highlights of this card, I mean, what is it, 13 matches? It looks like 13 matches on this card.
Yeah.
I mean, just
Rollins' contract states it has to go between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m., so it was a marathon.
Yeah. No, I believe it. But you filled it with a lot of great stuff. And this may not be your favorite example of that, but you did have a tag team title match, and your buddy Dave Dahl and Dylan Mesh, they retained. As I'm looking at it, is Mark Raspa and Silver Lobo. Had they worked for you before? How did that match go?
Not as a tag team. They both worked for DAWG before, but they were a tag team for the Monster Factory.
Okay.
And Silver Lobo was he's been making his name throughout DAWG. He's been wrestling for us for a little while now. Mark Raspa's been here off and on for a little while. And they, like I said, they were a tag team in the Monster Factory, and they got the shot at Dave Dahl and Dylan Mesh. Luckily, Dylan Mesh is so talented, he was able to carry that big slob Dave Dahl to a win. I mean, we had tons of great wrestlers on that event, and Dave Dahl was there.
Right.
But yeah, so Dylan Mesh, with his ultimate talent, was able to carry Dave Dahl. I'm sure his back's hurting because it's like carrying a beluga whale on his back. Maybe a humpback whale. Maybe a blue whale. I don't know. What's the biggest whale there's been? Blue whale? It's probably one of them.
I've forgotten Dr. Zirconium's love for Dave Dahl, so I'm loving this.
Hey, and it's not just confined to our show. I was after we had him on last, I'm looking at some of the Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators posts, and I'm looking at fans commenting like, why do you hate Dave Dahl so much?
It's because I know him. Everybody who's known him and met him hates him. And if you don't hate him, it's just because you don't know him yet.
That's it. Well, I can say I don't hate him. Not yet. Maybe June 28th.
If the coronavirus was a person, that's Dave Dahl.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, my goodness. Well, the other title match that I want to talk about, because we haven't watched it yet. I told you we probably were going to try, but we haven't watched it yet. So I want to hear from you about Mimi and Valerie Verman for the WWGP Women's title.
Yes.
If you don't know who the Notorious Mimi is, I don't know where you are. She is very, very, very talented.
Exactly.
And she's got an amazing look on her. She's got some great wrestling abilities. That fiery red hair makes her stand out. Very strong. People underestimate because she's a lady how strong she is. She's stronger than a lot of male wrestlers. And so good in the ring and so smart too. And then there's Valerie Verman, who is devious and conniving and a little bit despicable and never met a rule that she didn't like to break.
Woman after my own heart.
Her big,
I said, woman after my own heart.
With her bow in the corner, Samuel. If she was after your heart, she's probably more after your wallet. But Samuel Thompson in her corner. She's been using the advantage of Samuel being out there. One of the things that is in her contract with Samuel and her is they're allowed to be in each other's corner. They have licenses to manage each other. Okay. That was when they came to DAWG. That was the thing they both put in their contract, and they've taken advantage of that. And she's used Samuel to her advantage to hold on to that World Wrestling Grand Prix Championship. If you haven't seen the match, if you guys have a chance, do a live watch of it. It's a long match, but do a live watch of it on the air and talk about it. Maybe do a watch along, see if some of your fans will want to do it. It's a very, very entertaining match. Very athletic, a lot of big holds, a lot of near falls, lots of action. And both wrestlers came out looking very, very good, in my opinion. Both came out looking like superstars. Valerie Verman, if you remember Missy Hyatt from 1987 when she was managing, 1986 or 87 when she was managing Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert in the UWF, that's who Valerie Verman reminds me of.
That's all right.
Not the WCW watered down version of Missy Hyatt.
Yes.
I mean when Missy Hyatt was at her peak.
Yes. I 100% get that reference. It shows my age, but I definitely get it. And the thing about Mimi, and we've been talking about Mimi on this show before, and I think I want to compare it to a conversation John and I had with Rich Buchholz a couple of weeks ago about Parker Boudreaux and how he is going to be something one day. He got his shot at the big time probably before he was ready for it. And I feel like that kind of applies to Mimi. Like, she's going to be back. That NXT shot that she had as Sloane Jacobs, maybe it wasn't the time, but she's going to have her time. I'm convinced of it.
She was a baby when she got that shot, and she's still extremely young.
Right.
Yeah.
Agreed.
She was barely, I don't even think she was 19. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, wow.
But she was very young.
Yes.
You know, and she's been wrestling. She started training at the IWF school first. I think when she was like 15 or 16, and then moved to the Monster Factory school when she was like 17. So she's been doing this for a lot longer than people realize.
Right. Yeah, and she's fantastic. Like you said, to be that young and have the gimmick flushed out and have the wings and the look, and she's so strong.
Yeah.
And like I said, she's ahead of the curve still.
I would think you should go out of your way with both her and Valerie to get her on the show, because I think you guys will enjoy talking to her, both of them. Valerie will take over, so just heads up.
That's fine. Nobody wants to hear me talk anyway, so.
Yeah. She will. It doesn't matter which they want to or not. She's going to take over. But again, they're very, very, very talented women wrestlers. DAWG brings in some very talented women wrestlers. There's a lot of them out there that are just kind of looks, and they're not that good in the ring. But DAWG tries to bring in the top women wrestlers out there. Our first women's wrestler we had was what was her name? Oh, I just drew a blank, but she was a Ring of Honor wrestler. She was trained with Chikara. She's a Ring of Honor. Very, very, very good in the ring. She had a mask. Jamelia Kraft was her name with the mask. I can't think of her. Rose.
I'm pulling it up. Jenny Rose.
Jenny Rose, yes. Jenny Rose. I couldn't remember the Jenny part. She was my first woman wrestler on the card. We've also had Sumi Sakai. We've had one of Mia Yim's first, if not her first, wrestling match.
Oh wow, nice.
So there's been Bonesaw Jesse Brooks has been on there. We've had one of my absolute favorite women wrestlers of all time. Just so very awesome in the ring. She was the first World Wrestling Grand Prix women's champion, and she is probably one of my favorite people out there right now in all of professional wrestling. It's a shame she doesn't wrestle anymore. And I'm stalling because I got brain damage. People, don't take chair shots.
Yeah. I'm trying to pull it up. I'm
They
trying to
really,
help you out
really,
here.
really, yeah, they really.
You said WWGP?
She was the first World Wrestling Grand. Yeah, she was also former Valkyrie Women's Champion. Why can't I just Casey Carlisle. Carlisle.
Okay, I see. Yep.
Yeah, Casey Carlisle, so amazing person, so incredibly talented. Imagine Sherry Martel, and that's what she reminded me of a lot. Was Sherry Martel? She even had a little nastiness of Fabulous Moolah, but she wasn't smacking around women and ripping them out.
Right.
But she was so very good in the ring. Casey was amazing. Who else have we had in there? Obviously, Mimi, Valerie, Christina Marie,
Zoe Sky.
Zoe Sky, yeah. Zoe Sky was great too. We also had Zoe Cannon, who, I don't know if you know her. She just, unfortunately, she's going to be out for a while with knee surgery, I think double knee surgery. But she was trained by Ricardo Rodriguez, WWE fame. She's also very, very good. We've had some great women wrestlers in a dog ring, and I can't wait to see the continuous success of the World Wrestling Grand Prix Women's Championship when we bring that into DAWG. It's defended all over, but we bring it into DAWG. I always look to see the success and the greatness of that. It's something I think people need to keep an eye out for. And the champions and the wrestlers that wrestle for that championship are amazing.
Yes, 100%. I'm just getting into this. You put all this on the radar for me, and so I've been looking into WWGP and the history of that title. Man, it goes back a long way, both the women's and the men's. I mean, not terribly long, but I mean, 10 years.
Yeah.
So
it's been a while, but there's only been 2 women's champions, and Valerie's the second one. Casey retired as champion, so Valerie Verman defeated. What was her name? Carreras. I can't think of her first name.
Clara Carreras.
Yeah, Clara Carreras. That's it. That was a great match too.
I see that here.
The fans loved her.
I see that was at WRAHstlemania as well, a year ago.
Yeah, that was over a year ago. Yeah, and the fans loved her.
Yeah. Speaking of
Casey
WRAHstlemania,
has been in there with some of the best stars. I want to say she's been in there with the biggest stars in wrestling for that World Wrestling Grand Prix Women's Championship. And it's great to see both wrestlers thriving as World Wrestling Grand Prix Women's Champion.
Yes, I'm a big fan of Valerie as well. There's a lot of I feel like I'm saying this a lot on this episode, but the first time I saw Valerie was at the Monster Factory with Samwell in a mixed tag. I thought they had something then, but Valerie has just blown up. Every time I turn around, she's somewhere new, and it seems like she's either going for a belt or she's got it. So. She's definitely doing something right, and Samwell as well. I mean, I see Samwell around. I mean, obviously they're usually together.
Yes,
but
unless it's a women's only event, they are usually together.
Right. Now I lied to you a little bit, saying that I was done talking about matches because there was one more I wanted to ask you about, just because you mentioned him. But you did have Wrecking Ball Legursky taking on Tyson Maddox, 2 hosses.
Yeah. We should have had that match sponsored by Arby because there was definitely some heat there.
Right.
Again, check that out. Such a great wrestling match. There was 2 guys, two beasts just battling each other, and Tyson Maddox is undeniably strong. His muscle to body mass ratio is insane, and Wrecking Ball Legursky's so agile for a guy his size. Wrestles for the National Wrestling Alliance, and so much speed for a guy that size and explosiveness too. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of Bam Bam Bigelow.
Yes,
so that match, it was very, very good. We also had former WWE superstar, Ring of Honor superstar, OVW superstar Tank Tolan on the card too.
I see that, yeah, against Ken Powers.
Yeah. Ken Powers is a wrestler from the New England area. That was an old school wrestling match. Everything on the DAWG event was something different. on the 17th of April, and again, it was another match that was different from everything else out there. It was an old school pro wrestling match, something you would see, and it was the tank turrets and old fashioned Polish hammer.
Mm-hmm.
You know how Ivan Plitsky is? That was his finishing maneuver.
Oh yeah,
and that's what Tank does, and knocked Ken Powers in the middle of next week. He might still be in orbit.
Nothing wrong with that. Tank Tolan is a big boy too. I mean, you talk about Tyson Maddox. Tank Tolan is no joke.
He is.
Yeah, he is a very large individual, and muscular wise, he's not so much tight wise, but muscular wise, his arms are bigger than, well, I would say bigger than Udel's stomach, but that's impossible. Death Star would be bigger than his stomach.
Oh my lord. I know the one other thing we want to talk about, or that I wanted to mention about WRAHstlemania, is the one thing that John and I think may have been one of the things we talked about the most was the venue. I absolutely love that place for wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh yeah, it's at the Chamberlain Student Center at Rowan University. We've been running there since 2018, and we've been, it's 2017, and we've been back there a year ever since. It was our 8th wRAHstlemania. We don't name them. That was Rowan's thing. Rowan's loves naming events that are not what I would choose, but they're the venue and they're the sponsor and they decide what they want to do. But it looks neat. There's actually 3 layers of balconies around the edges, and then there's the stairs themselves that go up and down. So, and we had fans inside the venue. It's they call it the pit. It's the student center pit where a lot of activities go around, but also standing room all the way around the balconies, except for the one side that was blocked off for the cameras. So it was neat to see that place packed and yelling and screaming and loud. And it was quiet. By the time the main event came, it was around 1 o'clock in the morning. And some of the guys all right, the reason this event happens is it's meant to stop the kids from going drinking.
Right.
Half the event leaves to go drinking afterwards, and then the other half comes back because they were already drinking. But so I don't think it works that well. But it is the most attended event that Rowan University does for the Rowan After Hours program.
Oh, that's good.
I mentioned when we were watching the Goldie Dijak match that how cool a visual it was, kind of when they panned up and you kind of saw, the students kind of up in the mezzanine area or up in the walkways. It's such a neat place for a match. It's so unique. So we really, man, you guys, like I said, it knocked it out of the park. It was awesome.
It's so exciting. And we got a little special guest there talking about it. Was when you were talking about it, popped up. Little special guest just popped up right now.
She's always in my way. So this is Finnegan. This is the boss. So I'm here for moral support.
Well, obviously Finnegan is a fan of Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators, especially when we run events at the Chamberlain Student Center. You guys want to know something?
Yes, sir.
We're going to run the event second time a year. They've just added another event, which is the first time we're going to try it. It's for the freshman welcome back week, where they come in and they have the freshmen a week ahead of time before the rest of the school gets in, so they can get accustomed to where everything is. They can get moved in, and they have special events for that, to keep the kids at Rowan. And one of the special events on Saturday night, August 30th, is going to be another DAWG Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators event. It's going to be at the Chamberlain Student Center once again, and the event is called Clash of the Profs. The profs are again, they named it, not us. The profs are the little owl mascots for the football team, baseball team, and everything. That's their sporting name of the profs.
Okay.
I think it's short for professors, and they have a little owl with a cap and a monocle.
Nice.
Again, it's the first annual. Hopefully annual Clash of the Profs. And we're going to be having a tournament there to crown the the Rowan Cup.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm not sure if they're going to call it the Henry Rowan Cup because Henry Rowan was the millionaire that donated lots of money to rechange the name from Glassboro State College to Rowan University and helped actually put that school on the map and helped a lot of things happen in that school to build it up to its big as it is now. And I think they're going to call it the Henry Rowan Cup. But we're just going to call it the Rowan Cup for now.
So it's going to be like a tournament?
So yeah, it's going to be a tournament. It's not going to be Rowan exclusive to Rowan students, but it is going to be a cup, and then the winner of the cup and the tournament gets a shot at the DAWG championship at the next wRAHstlemania.
Oh, very nice.
Man.
So yeah, so I
WrestleMania 9.
Awesome.
But I want to be clear on something because you said that WrestleMania is only open to the students. So you're telling me if I want to see an event, a dangerous adrenaline wrestling gladiators event at Rowan, I can do it in August?
No, it's for the freshmen, and they're only for the freshmen of Rowan University.
Oh, okay.
So it is still exclusively for that. But all you have to do is sign up for Rowan University, and you'll be a freshman, and you'll be able to check it out.
Well, hey, my daughter's 17. She's about to be a junior. I'm already thinking about getting her to Rowan.
Easy.
Yeah, I think they could actually bring a guest with them, so you'll be able to sneak in.
Yeah.
I don't know. Bob, you might be able to pass for a freshman.
Yeah. Sure. You too.
You get solid.
John, can pass for a freshman on 21 Jump Street. You can.
Yeah. I'm there. Gray is the new blonde.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about so 2 days later you do South Jersey Geek Fest, and I see you've got a ton of matches that day too. How did that event play out?
We had to fill 5 hours instead of 4 that time. So
consecutive.
But luckily we weren't so tied to times on that one. So we started a little later and we just ended a little earlier. But we just basically with a lot of people trying out for DAWG, haven't been there, and some of our regulars. And we had a couple championship matches. The World Wrestling Grand Prix. The Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators Tag Team Championships was defended. And so was the Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. There was a Battle Royal. We only have one Battle Royal a year. And this year was at the South Jersey Geek Fest.
Nice.
And then the order of elimination determining the matches. And by the way, not Roxy Cotton. Gabby Gilbert was in the Battle Royal, but she wasn't actually in it. She just decided to jump into it. So just heads up, she wasn't an official sanctioned member of the Battle Royal. She decided she was just going to jump in. She was actually one of the wrestlers' managers, and she just thought it would be fun to jump in, I guess.
Okay.
If you ever know Gabby, she's a little nuts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Believe me. Yeah. I saw that. I was looking at the things, noticing that a bunch of the folks from around in that area, maybe that I hadn't seen on your events, were there. So it kind of makes sense. One thing I did want to mention, because I believe they're going to be at the June 28th event, which we're going to get to later, but Primal Fear was on this April 19th event. What are your thoughts on them? Because I think the world of those guys.
They've been off and on in DAWG for a while now. They've fought a couple times for the Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators Tag Team Championship. They've been on one of our Rowan events, and they were at the South Jersey Geek Fest, and they wanted a match because they wanted to get a shot at the Dave Dahl and Dylan Mesh. So that's why they were there, and they had a good match against this young tag team called the Lost Boys, I think they were calling themselves. And they weren't the original Lost Boys. If you go to old school pro wrestling, there was a Lost Boys tag team in for Dennis Carluzzo's NWA and prior. But these kids are young kids that are in the training at CZW, and they had a really good match. They very much impressed, and they took on Primal Fear and had a really good. They gave them a good showing, and Primal Fear came out victorious and used that to catapult. They wanted a shot at the DAWG Championship, and that's why they were there. They wanted to get some more gold around their waist. They wanted to finally get one of the most prestigious championships in there, even though Dave Dahl holds it. It's still prestigious. All because of Dylan Mesh.
Right. So is that it? June 28th is when they get that shot?
Yeah, June 28th, again at the Sacred Heart Church located at 103 4th Street in beautiful, historic Riverton, New Jersey.
Awesome. Before I move on to that completely, Oh, sorry. Go ahead, John.
Oh no, I would just comment. That's coming up soon, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You guys are coming, right?
I'm going to work on
I'm
getting
definitely
putting
there.
you on the spot right now.
So I'm gonna check on my schedule. Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
100%.
that's a nice little car ride for us, Bob. That's not bad at all.
No, not at
Make
all.
sure you bring something to promote your podcast and promote yourselves.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
I will let you know if we're. I'll let you know, Dr. Zirconium, if we're coming up. I'm going to try to get my daughter's here for the summer. She was just on the show a little bit earlier, and so I'm going to try to bring her. She's a huge fan, and I know she would love to see it. I know she knows a lot of the names that we've just been talking about. So I'd love to get up there.
Well, bring her. South Jersey's #1 wrestling promotion, Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators. If you're not fans afterwards, we'll give you your money back. That's how confident we are. We bring on every wrestling companies put on shows. We put on events.
I am aware of that.
And when we rent the building, it helps the Sacred Hearts basketball program.
Okay,
That's awesome.
And if we do really well, we always give a little extra to the Sacred Heart too. So by having a good crowd there, you're also helping us give a little extra to the Sacred Heart basketball program. And it also helps, it's always fun when you're wrestling in front of a big crowd. And we usually do pretty well. It's the second time we're in this building, but we're trying to do everything we can to pack the place. I mean, we'll talk about all the things going on. It's top to bottom a great wrestling card, and Daredevil Dave Dahl will be there.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about it. What do you have that you can announce or that's already announced for us?
Pretty much most of the cards announced. I'll tell you about some of the bullet points. I don't know if you know of a wrestler called Biggie Biggs. He has been a longtime independent professional wrestler in the Northeast area, former World Wrestling Grand Prix champion. He's fought multiple times for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. He's also been in the ring with some big-time stars. The first time he wrestled for DAWG, he was on our very first event, which was April 24th, 2010, at the Ocean Sports Arena and Ocean Sports Complex. And he took on Robbie E. then in the first DAWG event.
Nice.
He actually has some. We kind of blame him. He actually has some blame, I guess, for Robbie E's success in the professional wrestling business, now known as Robert Stone in the WWE.
Yes.
But he wrestled there. He's been in the ring with some of the biggest stars in professional wrestling. He's fought multiple times for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Once held independent tag team goal with Hall of Famer Tito Santana. Has wrestled against Homicide. Has wrestled against Bilbus Wesley. Has wrestled against Falaba. And those three are just in a dog ring, but has done so much in the business. And he is wrestling against young up-and-comer Silver Lobo. We talked about him earlier. This is Biggie's first time at the Sacred Heart Church, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Biggie's very popular. He's tall. He's charismatic. He reminds me of a hip-hop Dusty Rhodes.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So you'll have a lot of fun. The fans love him, especially the young kids. Very popular with the young children. Hits like a Mack truck with his chops. One of his nicknames is the Chop Daddy, Chopzilla. Yeah,
I'm here for it.
And Silver Lobo might need a new nipple after this is all over.
Oh, that'll be fantastic.
And that's just one thing. I mean, we also have the World Wrestling Grand Prix Heavyweight Championship on the line. I mean, let's talk about the two big matches that are out there. The World Wrestling Grand Prix Heavyweight Championship, David Goldie will be defending against AEW superstar Nick Camarado, a.k.a. Becky's husband.
That's it, Ref Becky's husband.
Yes. But that match is going to be good. That's another monster beast for David Goldie. He wrestled against the Native American Pat Sawyer the last time that we were at the Sacred Heart Church. Another big wrestler. Go look him up. Very big, very talented. With the right person behind him, he's going to go far. He's obviously wrestled against Donovan Dijak. Donovan Dijak. And now Nick Camarado. That's a lot of mass that he's been in there with, and are going to be in there with. And that's a very tough challenger. Nick Camarado has a lot to prove. He's still hungry. He wants to show AEW that he needs TV time, that he deserves to be pushed out there, and he's using David Goldie as a launching platform to try to make sure people know how good Nick Camarado is. And I think that match is going to be off the charts. It's going to be one that when you want to check out live, because I don't think YouTube will do it justice.
Right. Oh, I'm sure.
So that's a great, and I can't wait to see that. The other big match that I really, really want to look forward to, and I think we're going to talk about, is Vinny the Fixer defending the Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators Heavyweight Championship against Marvelous.
Mm-hmm.
Marvelous has a really good win-loss record. He's only lost one match in DAWG, and that was his first match. And he's been on a tear ever since. He even has a 2 out of 3 fall victory over David Goldie.
Whoa.
So David Goldie, the current guy who's current World Wrestling Grand Prix champion, and Marvelous has a win over him. This is Marvelous's first ever main event ever in any company as a singles wrestler.
Really?
He's done some tag team main events, but he's never had a singles main event. This is his very first.
Wow.
And it's a big deal for him. And then Vinny the Fixer, this is his first announced championship match in a DAWG ring. Yes, he has the one coming up next week, or this Saturday actually, at the Mawa. But if he's still champion, he'll be defending against Marvelous. And this is his first announced DAWG championship match. It's a big deal for both of them. Vinny has been around for DAWG for quite some time. Fans that were familiar with DAWG, but now he's leading the way as the champion, and this is a good chance to show for Vinny to show everybody this new cruel, evil streak that he's always kind of had, but he's just letting back out. And I think the fans are going to be really, really happy for the match. One win, lose, or draw. Marvelous is amazing in the ring and very underrated. He's small, and a lot of people underestimate him for it, but he always uses that size to his advantage. A lot of people find being small a disadvantage. He actually uses that as an advantage. And I don't think Vinny is used to somebody as fast as Marvelous.
Yeah.
He's going to have to slow the Marvelous down. He's going to have to work on the leg. He's going to have to ground him. Because if Marvelous takes to the air and uses that speed to advantage, I think we'll have a new champion, and Vinny's reign will be a shortest one ever.
Yeah, I'm surprised to hear you say that Marvelous hasn't had a singles main event in any company, because I've seen him a couple of times. I saw him at an MLW taping, I think he appeared at, or NWA as well, and so he, Marvelous has been around, and he's accomplished, and he's very good in the ring. So that surprises me to hear you say that, because I know, like I said, he's been around for a while, and he's very good.
His first singles main event, and it's going to be it's really special. And what way to cap it off than win the DAWG championship? He needs your support, ladies and gentlemen. If you know who Marvelous is, he needs your support, because this is a big undertaking. Vinny is very, very smart and knows how to manipulate the referees and the rules to his own advantage. And Marvelous is going to need all your support. He's going to need your energy. He's going to need you cheering for him. So be there on June 28th at the Sacred Heart Church, located at 103 4th Street in beautiful historic Riverton, New Jersey, to be in his corner and cheer him on.
Yes, absolutely. And then you've got a women's championship match that night as well.
Yes, the World Wrestling Grand Prix Women's Championship is on the line. Valerie Verman, she will be defending against Stevie Brooks. Stevie Brooks was supposed to receive a championship match in Pennsauken. Unfortunately, the sponsor of the event pulled the event. There was a problem with the school we were running, and we're still trying to get that back to happening. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. But the school had something else, unfortunately, so the event got postponed, and we're trying to reschedule it. But now she's getting her shot #1 contender against Valerie Verman. And Stevie Brooks is very, very good in the ring. Yes. Different kind of competitor than Mimi, different kind of competitor than Clara, different competitor than Valerie's used to. And I think they've been in the ring against each other, but I don't think Valerie ever came out victorious against Stevie.
I wouldn't be surprised by that.
So I think Stevie might have Valerie's number. We might see a new World Wrestling Grand Prix Women's Championship champion crowned, and hopefully Samuel doesn't get involved. But that may be the difference maker. But I think Stevie may have Valerie's number.
Yeah, and Stevie will knock Samuel out. So,
Oh yeah,
if she gets a chance,
and the fans will love that.
yep, I would.
Speaking of Samwell, he's wrestling against Dad Bod.
Oh, I love Dad Bod. God of
And he-
Dad Bod.
Well, we're in a church, so he's just Dad Bod.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Yes, that's why Dylan Mesh and Dave Dahl aren't the War Devils on this event.
Ah, I didn't even notice that on the poster. Yep.
But yeah, the Dad Bod versus Samwell. Samwell's said some disparaging remarks. He doesn't have high regards for Dad Bod, and I think that will definitely cost Samwell if he underestimates Dad Bod. He seems goofy and a little whatever, but he's smart and he's crazy like a fox.
Yes.
It's kind of like the Boogie Woogie Man Jimmy Valiant or Bugsy McGraw. People underestimate it because they think they're wackadoodle.
Great.
Yeah,
Bugsy
if you underestimate Dad Bod, you're going to end up on the short end of that match.
Yeah. I actually
Looking
love
up
that.
at the lights.
I love that comparison. I'm going to just say it one more time. If you've not seen Dad Bod, God of Dad Bod, look him up online and then go look up, if you don't know who Bugsy McGraw is, go look up Bugsy McGraw and realize how good of a comparison that is, because those guys, I mean, the characters are very similar and they've got sort of a similar charisma, I guess you could say.
Yes, and hairstyle.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Another person that's going to appear at this event on June 28th is someone that you've put us in contact with, and we're very grateful for that. He's going to be appearing on our show next week, and that's Dig It Bundles. I wasn't that familiar with him before you introduced him to me. So talk about Dig It Bundles.
Dig It Bundles used to play semi-pro professional football. Dig It Bundles used to be a professional recording artist. Dig It Bundles is an actor and has movie starring roles to his reign and also been in other movies. You also might have seen him if you watched the Netflix special, The Wrestler, that was talking about Ohio Valley Wrestling. He was on that also. He works for Ohio Valley Wrestling, but he's been a lot of places. He goes and travels. He puts those miles on. He's wrestled for Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestlers in the past, had a really, really good matches against some of the top wrestlers out there. Once fought for the World Wrestling Grand Prix Championship against Chris Steeler. Has just made a name for himself and has really blossomed in Ohio Valley Wrestling. He took that raw talent that Matt Striker, he wrestled against Matt Striker. Matt Striker had oodles of praise on him.
Nice.
And had a great match with Matt Striker and DAWG. And he's taken that raw talent now and has now refined it. And DGAT's real. You see in DGAT in the ring is what you see DGAT outside the ring. Mm-hmm. He likes, tell people to keep it simple. He doesn't believe that all the stuff that wrestlers like to do with all the added histrionics they try to put into their matches and stuff. He's just a guy, raw boned, wants to punch you in the face, will slam you, incredibly strong, explosive power that he gets from football. And he's wrestling against Connor the Flag Boy. Connor the Flag Boy is Dave Dahl's flag boy. He brings a Dave Dahl flag to the ring for Dave Dahl when he randoms them, when he's in the corner for him. And he's been breaking out as a singles wrestler. He's wrestled against Falaba recently. He's wrestled against Tank Tolan. He's starting to really put things together in his career and starting to make a name for himself and show promise. I think once he gets rid of that dead weight and Dave Dahl, that albatross around his neck,
right,
that ball and chain that's holding him down, you'll see Connor the Flag Boy blossom into a bigger star. But this is another big match, a big test for him. It was the last match set up by Jim Molyneux. And before he's no longer the matchmaker of DAWG. He got to a physical altercation with Dave Dahl, actually gave Dave Dahl a Stone Cold Stunner. And fortunately, after that, they was decided that both of them, it was best for him to resign. And so, but it was the last thing he set up was this match, DGAT Bundles versus Connor the Flag Boy. Connor annoyed Jim Molyneux almost as much as Dave annoys everybody who meets him. But Jim always said that Connor has potential to be a big star, to be a good wrestler. and that's why he's been giving him these big opportunities to wrestle against these, to learn from these veterans and to get better and to wrestle the best, because steel sharpens steel. And unlike Dave Dahl, where unfortunately you can't sharpen a turd, but it's good to see Connor the Flag Boy get these opportunities. Unfortunately, though, if he's not serious about this, DGet's just going to punch him in the face and knock him in the next week, which I also will enjoy seeing.
Oh my goodness, John! I'm looking right now on YouTube as he's talking because I went to as he mentions names, I'll Google them and search them up, and I search up Connor the Flag Boy, and the very first thing that comes up is a Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators reel that just says Connor the Flag Boy gets crushed by TNA Impact star Fallah Bahh, and my God, does he? Fallah Bahh just sits right down and crushes him. I'm surprised he's alive.
Yeah, I love that. Crushed Dave Dahl too. Unfortunately, he bounced up, and when he tried to land on Dave Dahl, he bounced up and almost hit the atmosphere. Like giant on one of those giant inflatable bounty houses made out of monkey crap.
Oh my goodness! One thing
the last time he was at the Sacred Heart Church, he did take on Tank Tolan, and Jim Molyneux, playing a little prank on Connor the Flag Boy, made his entrance music Baby Shark. That reel is the second most watched reel on the Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators YouTube. Most being was when Fallah Bahh landed on Dave Dahl.
Right.
But check it out. He so was not happy having to come out to the Baby Shark song, and the fans were singing it, and fans are we have a lot of entertainment, dog. We tend to be serious wrestling, but every once in a while you see something like that just because honestly, Jim Molyneux just enjoyed torturing him. And his reactions are hilarious. And he did compose himself and gave a good showing against WWE superstar Tank Tolan. So again, the promise is there. If some experience under his belt and getting rid of Dave Dahl, and he might see Connor the Flag Boy as a big star someday in professional wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely. And John, if you're for your edification, John, that video, the Shark Boy video, if you're looking for it, which I'm sure you're feverishly searching for it right now, the title of that video on their Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators YouTube page is Flag Boy Shark do 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 Flag Boy Shark do 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 do. That's the name of the video.
Flag Boy Shark do 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 Flag Boy Shark.
So there's two good. Anybody who's listening to this, go check out those two reels because they're both absolutely hilarious, and they're both like 20 seconds long, so it won't take up too much of your time.
That's actually about 20 seconds longer. Real quick, that's about 20 seconds longer than the best of Dave Dahl tape that we try to put out there.
The other thing I wanted to ask you about, just the last sort of thing was as I'm looking at the flyer or the poster. Special appearance from world-ranked bantamweight professional boxer Emmanuel Rodriguez. Tell us about that.
Yes, he's from Puerto Rico. He's fighting, I believe, August 9th at the Hard Rock Casino in Atlantic City, New Jersey, defending I think he's actually fighting for a different championship. He holds a bunch of smaller championships in the bantamweight division. He's world ranked, and he now fights out of Newark, New Jersey. And he is a big wrestling fan for Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators. And he said that he wants to be there. He's probably going to be there to promote his upcoming fight. But things tend to go awry in Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators when we have special guests. And I have a feeling, like, you know who actually doesn't like him? He's been talking trash on him. It's Connor the Flag Boy.
Ah,
really?
Yeah, he's upset that the boxer gets mentioned on a wrestling poster and he's not on there.
Oh, boy.
And I think he's taken umbrance to that. And I hope he doesn't try talking to this guy disrespectfully before his match with DGet Bundles, because DGets are going to knock him out probably. But
yeah.
It may not happen if Emmanuel knocks him out first.
That's what I was going to say. We've just finished talking about two viral 20-second clips of Connor the Flag Boy. Connor, if you're listening, do not make it a third. Please Do not antagonize Emmanuel Rodriguez.
Manuel Rodriguez is actually good friends with DGAT Bundle too. I mean, not friends, fan. He's a big fan of DGAT Bundles.
Okay.
So, that's one of the reasons he was there was when he found DGAT was on the card. He's a big fan of him. He's a big fan of professional wrestling, and he talked to the DAWG, myself, Dr. Zirconium, and the DAWG officials about being a part of the event. He wants to promote his upcoming fight, and he wants to be there close to the action. Maybe since he's a fan of DGAT, maybe we'll put him in DGAT's corner.
Oh, very cool.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I'm thinking on the fly right now.
Yeah.
I think because Connor's been talking trash on him.
Mhm.
Well, maybe I don't think Connor will be so brave when he's up close and personal. There's a lot of keyboard warriors out there who talk trash, but once they get into that, then they're a lot more respectful and calm and don't really open their mouth.
Well, maybe it's time for Connor to learn a life lesson here.
Yeah,
Yes.
that could be true. That absolutely could be true. Dr. Zirconium, tell everybody, since we're talking about it, give everybody the information. Where can they get tickets? How do they get tickets? Anything else you want to plug or have people take a look at?
Well, don't forget also WWE superstar and Ring of Honor superstar Tank Tolan will also be there against Jack Martins. Jack Martins does not respect.
Nice.
He's been really disrespectful
Okay.
to Tank. So another young punk thinking that they're, the hot shit. And I think, sorry, am I allowed to curse?
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thinking that he's hot shit. And I think Tank Tolan's going to make him out to be a cold turd. And, but Jack Martins is so talented too. So I hope Tank doesn't underestimate him. I know Tank's smart. He doesn't. But I think that match is going to be really, really good. And whoever comes out victorious, that's a big win for either one of them. But Tank, he's been there. He's the veteran. I think he understands what to do. And I think that his veterans is going to give him an advantage. But Jack's so athletic.
Yeah. I don't know.
There's going to be, it's great wrestling. And we really didn't get too much, like I said, into the DAWG Tag Team Championship match because Primal Fear are probably going to beat the absolute crap out of Dave Dahl. And if you haven't witnessed Dave Dahl getting the crap kicked out of him, that's worth the $20 alone.
I'm down for it.
Tickets are $20, and you could buy the entire seat, but you're only going to need the edge. Watch, because Dave Dahl's Dylan can compete. He's actually used to be. They're kind of friends with Primal Fear. They know each other from Ring of Honor, and but this is the first time they've actually been in the ring with Dylan, and Dylan's like a little upset about that. Like, well, these guys supposed to be friends, and they're trying to get his gold. And he's already, suffering with a bad back because he's been carrying Dave Dahl for so long. And Dave Dahl is going to get beat up. I guarantee it. I don't know if he's going to sneak out a victory, him and Dylan, but Dave Dahl is going to get beat up. And I'm looking forward to that. Everybody should be.
Yeah.
That is worth it. If Nick Camarado or Goldie or Vinny or Marvelous or Valerie or any of the other wrestlers we mentioned aren't enough to get you there, Tank Tolan, Emmanuel Rodriguez, the boxer, if they're not enough to get you there, DGAT Bundles, Dave Dahl getting beat up, that's worth the ticket.
Yes. Absolutely agree.
Everything else is just bonus.
Hey, no, I don't know, man. This card is stacked. I'm juiced. Like I said, I hadn't really looked at the flyer. I didn't really know too much till we started talking, but as I've been looking at it here, I mean, I am just, these matches at the top of the card are all worth the price of admission on their own. Tank Tolan, DGAT Bundles, Goldie, Biggie Biggs, Connor the Flag Boy, and Emmanuel Rodriguez. Goodness gracious. Did we miss anything?
Well, there's top to there, and there's going to be 9 matches on the card. And former Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators Heavyweight Champion Justin Adams is actually going to be there. He has an open challenge. I'm really looking forward to this. DAWG, myself, and our matchmakers really go out of our way to put the best wrestling action out there. We try to give somebody a little bit of everything special. So you come to this event, you bring your kids. You're not going to be embarrassed to bring your kids there. It doesn't matter if they're 2 years old, 10 years old, 20 years old, or 80 years old. Whatever kid you bring, they're going to have so much fun.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And you're not going to be embarrassed to happen to see this. This isn't going to be ultra violent. You're not going to see, blood and barbed wire and all the stuff that you don't want to bring your family to. But it's not like a lot of people use family wrestling and it's got a negative connotation to it. This is action-packed, old school professional wrestling with new school athletics. And you're going to have so much fun. I want you guys to be there. I challenge you guys to be there and make sure you bring stuff to promote you guys. We're going to give it to everybody. We'll put it on the table. You can hand them out. We'll make sure to make an announcement that you guys are there. We'll give you the props that you deserve. Come check it out.
We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And then tell me how much you love. And then that way, all of your top ranking things are all going to be top 1 through 5 are all going to be dog wrestlers. And we don't have to worry about Dave Dahl unless you have a crappiest wrestler. Then he'll be number 1.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I know Dr. Zirconium has been scouting. He and Goldie have been scouting my rankings videos. Goldie's looking for challengers, he said. So,
yeah.
Bring them all on.
Me. And yes, it's true. Yeah, and it's definitely Goldie likes he said to me, a lot of the wrestlers say to me, like, when they see top 10s out there, whether it's the PWI 500, whether it's any of the rankings out there, they're like, well, how are we getting on that list? How do we get number 1? And if they beat the wrestlers,
Exactly.
And I can't, I know Primal Fear is on your list.
Oh yeah.
I think if they win that DAWG championship, that DAWG tag team championship, that should move them up the ladder. I mean, Dylan's really good, and anytime you beat Dylan, and yeah, it's beating Dave Dahl is like beating a dead whale with dynamite, but which has actually happened, by the way. Look it up.
Right.
Yeah, but it's still going to be an impressive victory, and if they can win that championship, but it'll definitely catapult them, I think, up your rankings. And my goal is to make you guys fan. Doesn't matter where we're going to be, you're going to want to come to every DAWG event.
Yep.
Awesome.
I'm here for it. I am Dr. Zirconium. I'm telling you straight up, I am going to get off of this interview and go upstairs and work the arrangements with my daughter so that we can at least try to be there. And then I'm going to call John and I'm going to see if he's figured his schedule out so he can be there as well. I'm looking forward to it.
Remind me, I have some posters for you too.
Okay.
Awesome.
I have some posters for you guys too. So remind me, I have those for you.
Okay.
And we'll get some pictures of you of the wrestlers. And if you have a really, 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 really wide angle satellite, maybe I can get one of you and Dave Dahl. I have to be outside, obviously.
Right, clearly, yeah.
I got a friend that works for NASA. I'll see if I can't wrangle a favor.
Yeah, Nora can possibly track them.
I love it. It's always so much fun having you on this show, Dr. Z. And let me tell you, but I want to know. I need to know. I look on the poster, and I see a phone number for tickets. Is that the only way to call the phone number for tickets, or are there other ways?
They're also going to be available at the door. As of right now, it's a new building to us. We don't have enough people in the area. We don't nobody really know to be able to have set up ticket booths, unfortunately, because it's a new venue. We've talked to some of the people when we put out posters, but we're still getting to know the people in the area. I will tell you, if you do go, there's a brewery there, so check that out. Even though they don't let us put up posters, but still they're there. And there's a really good ice cream place. The ice cream there is delicious. I never got to go to the taco place because every time I go there, it's closed because apparently Riverton closes on Monday. The whole damn town closes on Monday. And there's a good coffee place there too, by the way. I'm basically mentioning everything that's in Riverton because it's a tiny town. It's maybe historic, and there was Revolutionary War battles there, but it is tiny.
Oh.
And, it's actually smaller than Dave Dahl.
Aren't most things.
Dave Dahl quadruples the mass of the town when he's part of the event and when he wrestles in Riverton.
Oh my gosh.
But no, it's so good. So make sure you guys are there. Check out the ice cream. Go to the businesses. Mention you're there because of DAWG Pro Wrestling. And once we get some establish some of these places, we'll have a ticket outlet. But you get your tickets at the door. There is no such thing as a bad seat. That's one of the reasons I like the venue. You can sit anywhere on there, and you're going to get a good seat. Unless you're stuck behind Dave Dahl, then you won't be able to see anything. So just make sure you're on the opposite side of Dave Dahl when he wrestles. But other than that,
we appreciate the info, the insider information.
That's it.
Last time Dave Dahl, a picture of a satellite, took a picture of Dave Dahl, they actually thought they were taking a picture of Uranus. It was a completely different asshole that they ended up getting an image of.
Oh my God.
I can't.
After all that, tell me you don't want to see Dave Dahl.
Oh,
I mean, once
no.
you see him, you'll never want to see him again, but
Oh, right.
you at least want to see him once to see how bad this guy is.
Well, I've been telling John how awesome Primal Fear is, so I know that for sure they're going to put on a great show, even if Dave Dahl's still there. Those guys
and he's getting beat up.
Yes, right.
That is the whole reason we booked Dave Dahl, because it's funny. Legitimately, we put out polls on like, who do you want to see beat up Dave Dahl, and it's the most interactive polls we have. We'll have like a couple hundred people in a normal poll, and whenever we do something like that, it's like 1,000 people talk about they want to see them all beat up Dave Dahl.
I believe
whatever one costs them the most pain, that's the best option.
That's right.
There you go.
That's right. All righty. So, well, listen, it was always great having you on. I am serious that I will be in touch with you soon about to let you know if we're coming up for the event. I think it's highly likely that at least me and my daughter will. Like I said, I don't want to speak for John until we get off the air and coordinate, but I'll be in touch with you soon about that, and I'll talk to you before we talk to Dig It next week, and I guess we'll go from there.
Awesome.
All right.
I can't wait. I also can't wait for that. Tag me on all this. Make sure you collaborate. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on Reddit. We're on YouTube. We're on Blue Sky. We're on Twitch. We're on Reels. We're on we're on I'm trying to think of something funny. We're on smoke signals.
There you go.
If there's a way out there, we're trying to get our way out there.
That's it. You got to promote. Get out there.
We're on Pornhub.
There you go. All right. Yeah. Check out.
Just tell me it's not Dave Dahl.
That's right. Please, God. All right. Well, thank you, Dr. Zirconium.
They don't have only blobs for Dave Dahl.
Only blobs. Oh my goodness! All right, Dr. Zirconium. Well, listen, thank you so much for coming on, and I'll be talking to you very soon.
Awesome! I look forward to it. I hope to see you on June 28th at the Sacred Heart Church, located at 103 4th Street in beautiful, historic Riverton, New Jersey.
We are going to do our best. Thank you so much for coming on, Dr. Z.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure.
Woo, John! I am. I didn't have it on my. I'm not gonna lie. I did not have Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators June 28th event at the Sacred Heart Church on my calendar, but now I do.
Yeah, I'm gonna check my schedule for sure. That card is stacked, and man, come on, man. We can't pass up an opportunity to see this wonder of the world that is Dave Dahl.
That's right. And hopefully we'll see some. Maybe we'll see at least one title change that day. Hopefully,
yeah.
Wouldn't mind seeing Marvelous pick up that Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators Championship, or Stevie Brooks knocking off Valerie Verman wouldn't be a terrible thing either, right?
Heck no.
And while we're talking about it, let me just use that to transition right into our ANDNEW champions of the past week. You and I were talking about before we got on here, John, about Severe Violent Nature Wrestling, SVN Wrestling.
Yes.
And over the weekend, they crowned a new ultraviolet champion in Masada, who defeated Hoodfoot for that belt.
As we talk, I've got it on in the background. I'm watching it as we go.
So we'll talk about it in depth later, because I want to watch it as well. But how's it going so far? Like, how's that show?
We've watched a couple of the deathmatch shows here. This is SVW or SVN, I'm sorry, by far the best production value that I've seen. Now I do have it. I'm not going to, get on the commentary. I've got it turned down. Visually, I mean, the camera work is great. The venue is great. The fans are super into it, and the card is stacked. I'll leave it up to you as a surprise, but I think you're going to be pretty happy with it.
Yeah, send me that link, man. Send me that link when we get done.
Absolutely.
We may be talking about that whole show next week. That whole event. Sorry, that whole event. I'm still getting used to it. Now, I don't know. Did you see that did you see the Instagram posts I've been doing with the ANDNEW champions and how I laid them out with the photos?
A few of them here and there.
So I finally started putting them up because I figure we talk about it on the show, but I can't tag everyone we talk about on the show, and I do want to congratulate those champions every week. So I started doing an Instagram post. I got a 20 picture limit on Instagram, so I try to limit it to 20 new champions each week, which is what I did today.
Okay.
But just another way to put them up there, and I find I got the photographs for the post figured out now, and little captions on them so you know which belt they won, and check them out. Check out our Instagram, Indie Wrestling Experience, and check out our ANDNEW Champions post every week. There will be a new one coming on Thursday for these new champions that I'm about to go over. Like I said, we just had the Masada Championship win.
Yes.
Some folks we don't talk about too often, but out in Oklahoma at Native American Wrestling, their tag team, the Speeding Bullets, were not only defeated for their tag team belts by the Military Express, but then immediately forced to disband and never come back to Native American Wrestling after that match. So, damn, something severe happened out there.
Wow. We may have to try to see if we can find some on that. That sounds kind of rough.
Yeah, seriously, man. I couldn't find too much footage, but I'm gonna keep looking for it because that's must have been one hell of an event.
Absolutely.
Another one that you're familiar with here, John, Mid-Atlantic Territory Wrestling. We just covered their television show. We were just talking about these two people, but at the most recent show, Scars and Stripes, Man of War is your new MATW champion, defeating BT Windsor in that vacant title match that they were talking about in the show that we watched.
Nice.
So congratulations to Man of War. And another one we've watched before that we're big fans of, Blair Onyx, your new second wrestling Maxwell Street Heritage champion, defeating Sean Logan. Any title that's got heritage in it, I'm here for. But Blair Onyx is just, she's so good. Let's see. At Pure Vanguard Wrestling, Randy Shawn became the new heavyweight champion in a fatal four-way for the vacant title. That also included Alan Compass, Jeremy LaCroix, and Sylvan. At Pennsylvania Premier Wrestling, which I mentioned last week, John, is going to be part of our rankings, specifically because everybody wanted Sammy Chaos in the rankings. I've got them in. She's their women's champion. But they've also got a brand new heavyweight champion crowned last week. Rembrandt falls to Dio Bando. Congratulations to Dio.
All right.
At DOA, Don't Own Anyone Wrestling, the intergender promotion out in Oregon, Jaden, who is also the WWW YouTube champion, added another belt to his collection, defeating Abigail Warren for the Grand Championship. At Wrestling Revolver, we had two title changes. Your boy, AJ Francis, John, defeats Jake Christ for the Remix title.
Oh, man.
Haven't seen Jake Christ in a while.
That was a great match. Absolutely. Yeah. Man, good job, AJ Francis. Congratulations, brother.
That's right. The top dollar, the Cheez-Its champion, the best they ever had. That's what Joe Hendry said. And then also at Wrestling Revolver, we got new tag team champions as Alpha Sigma Sigma fell to the Macabre. So congratulations to the Macabre. We just got done talking about IWA Deep South, John. This is that wRAHstlemania that had Tommy Dreamer and Chick Donovan. Oh, shit. We got to talk about that in a second. We'll come back to that in a moment because there were a lot of really cool names on that show. But at that show, they had a Toy Box of Death Rumble for the World Shit Style Championship. And that was won by Nikolai Cash. So he is your new World Shit Style Champion. At Showtime Pro Wrestling, we had an interesting turn of events. The very first match on the show, Joey Avalon wins the Showtime Pro Wrestling Heavyweight title from Brock Hall. And then in the main event, Brock Hall won it back. So Brock Hall is still, and I guess now for the second time, your Showtime Pro Wrestling champion. At SOS, John, I got a cool picture I'm going to post that I stole. I'll give credit, obviously, but to the photographer out at SOS from this title win as Mojo won the SOS title from Dante Smythe. Whoever the photographer is out there, I need to give them their props because the photos from this event are unreal. But you'll see this photo of Mojo flying through the air. It's just such a good picture.
Awesome.
At the Worldwide Dojo, David Moses won the Captured Lightning title from John Lee Kirk. At OVW, Steven Steele won the vacant Rush Division Championship. At CCW Coastal Championship Wrestling, John, it happened. After 617 days, Ruthie J has fallen. Nikki Blackheart is your new women's champion. Big ups to Nikki Blackheart.
Wow.
She should have won it the last time. She finally got it done. And I hope there's a rematch.
Ruthie J, what a run, man. What a run.
Seriously, no joke. At Wrestle Against Hunger, Skylar Slice became the inaugural women's champion, defeating Kyra in that vacant title match. PWA crowned a new Bumps and Bruises champion in Rod Dog Evergreen. Our friends out at Appalachian Mountain Wrestling, John, out there in Kentucky, our boys, the Cussin' and Discussin' podcast, we'll give them some props now.
What's up, fellas?
In addition, I'm going to go into this here in just a second because I only got one more title to announce. But they did have a gauntlet for the tag team championships that involved 5 teams, one of which was our buddy Brock Spolder and Triton Troy of Grappling Inc. They did not make it. They did not win. Your new Appalachian Mountain Wrestling Tag Team champions are none other than the NWA Zone Country Gentlemen.
Country Gentlemen.
I'm sure Grappling Inc., Brox and Titan are going to have something to say about that down the road. No question about it. And
no questions. Absolutely.
And at Pride of Wrestling, La Sangre Controversial defeated the Colognes. The former, let's see, what were they? The not the Shooting Stars, the Shining Stars.
The Matadors.
The Matadors. Yep. But now they are just the Colognes again out on the indies, and they were defeated for the Pride of Wrestling tag titles by La Sangre Controversial. Congratulations to all of our ANDNEW champions of the week.
Yes, congratulations, everybody.
So before we get to the YouTube recommendation, there was some stuff earlier, and we ran into some time issues because we ran long with Lauryn, and then Dr. Zirconium came on. But the thing that you sent me, first of all, is I want you to talk about the photo that you sent me of Chick Donovan, 79-year-old Chick Donovan, at IWA Deep South WRAHstlemania with Tommy Dreamer this past weekend. That was a cool photo.
Dude, the pic is awesome. You know, this guy is 79 years old. Man, I wish I looked like that at any point in my life. He is still in shape, man. You know, we kind of were, picking it, kind of funny. And we're like, man, I think Chick might look better than Tommy Dreamer. You know, Tommy better watch his back.
Yeah.
And then today, we're getting ready for this. And then, yeah, we made mention too. We're looking at this picture again and we're going, it looks like a picture of Tara Rising back from WCW, old Hunter, before the Hunter. And it looks like one of the photos where they aged it. The hair is perfect. The tan is perfect. Hell, the shape is pretty much perfect, man. He's just as chiseled as Hunter was back then.
No doubt.
More power to you, Chick Donovan, man. That is just awesome that he's still out there. He's still doing what he loves. Still putting on a show for fans. Man, 79. That is just awesome, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
No doubt, man. I was so glad to see him out there. And I think what I said to you before the show is it's like you took Tara Rising's face and head and put it on Billy Gunn's current body. Like, my God, like you said before, I didn't look like that in my 20s, so I sure as hell won't look like that when I'm approaching 80. Holy shit, dude. What kind of program is that?
Chick is a medical marvel. That guy is man, he is locked and loaded.
No question about it. And that WRAHstlemania event, we previewed it last week. There were a lot of cool classic names on there. Action Mike Jackson, Tommy Dreamer,
yes,
Mr. Hughes. That was awesome.
Mr. Hughes.
Yeah, I haven't seen Mr. Hughes in a long, long time. He
Dude,
was.
I could go for a pound. I could go for a pounce, baby.
That's right. No question, man. Um, oh, and we were just talking about Appalachian Mountain Wrestling. I didn't get to send you
Hmm.
a clip, but it was in the notes. Did you see any of this Carlito stuff?
I saw a little bit of it just in the chats. Um, man, Carlito is not letting any moss grow, man.
No, no. And he did a promo. So I guess so. He again. I mentioned our friends at Appalachian Mountain Wrestling. They're really doing the job out there, man. Getting these putting on great
Hmm.
shows. And so they have the main event, I guess, and then afterwards,
Yeah.
Carlito shows up, and there, I guess, there's this big thing between Appalachian Mountain Wrestling and New South. It looked like Carlito was going
Hmm.
to come out, he was going to be New South, but then he spits the apple in the face, and he lets everybody know he's with the home team. Then he cuts a promo afterwards and says, "AMW is where it's at, so I'm here." Accidentally hit the mute button. But yeah, so he's saying, "I'm here," and I'm here, and maybe that means he'll be back. AMW with a coup got Carlito showing up day one.
And I'm telling you, it's and Carlito looks great, man. Man, he looks like a world beater. So, you put him in this promotion, I mean, he he's ready. He's ready for war, man. I wouldn't want to be holding a title that he's decided he wants. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
yes, absolutely. And I speaking out of turn if I say, you know, um, am I speaking out of turn if I say we want Carlito Brox? Am I too early to say that we want Carlito versus Brox?
I'm down for that. I am down for that. Hey, listen, our boy Brox is no pushover.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. That's why I want him up
And
there.
you put him in with the likes of Carlito, fireworks, man. I'm telling you, straight up fireworks.
Yes, it'll be so good. Or Titan Troy too. I love Titan Troy. Don't get me wrong. But what was I going to say about? Oh, so the other piece of news that is more personal to me, hits home more for me maybe than you. But did you
Hmm.
see the Beast Mortos has graduated law school and is now a lawyer? What a moron! Like why didn't they tell me he was trying to do that? I could have talked him out of it years ago. No,
Okay,
congratulations to Mortos. That's
so
awesome.
all this makes me want to know is when is Bob Richards showing up in court with his mask?
Dude, I'm in. I am in. I will do it. Oh my gosh. I'll have it blowing smoke out the top like Vader's mask or something. You know what I mean? Oh,
Oh man, that is
that's
awesome! Congratulations, Mortis. I mean, you talk about these guys, and we never really talk about uh, what do they think about as far as when wrestling is done, and what are they going to do? And I mean, obviously, this is a guy that he's got a plan, man. He knows what he wants to do. Hey, man, more power to him. Congratulations, that's awesome.
yeah, 100% agree. And it made me wonder, has he been the Beast Mortos under this mask and this big thing all this time because he wants to be a lawyer and he doesn't want people thinking
Possibly,
that, what I don't know his real name, but Joe Smith is also the Beast Mortos, you know what I mean? Maybe
right?
that's part of it,
Hey, man, and listen, the little kid part of me is, man, hey, if I ever got to go to court, I kind of want that guy to show up for me.
No doubt, man. No doubt. It's almost like
Your lawyer shows up in that mask. Whew,
you win it.
dismissed.
The whole courtroom's on notice. Yeah, I was thinking of it like the old George the Animal Steel thing, where he would be like a high school English teacher for like not 8 months out of the year,
Yes,
and then all of a sudden he goes halfway
yes.
across the country to the East Coast, and he's George the Animal Steel. Like,
Green tongue, eating turnbuckles, all the stuff.
what was that show they had on Disney Channel? It was She-Hulk Attorney at Law. We'll get Beast Mordos Attorney at Law.
There you
Sign
go.
sign me up.
Hey, I'm tuning in.
Yeah, man. Do you need a law partner, Mordos? Just say the word. Shit, man. Well, so we've got Sampson coming on here soon. And before we get to Sampson, I just got one other thing to do, and that's every week we do our YouTube recommendation. This week, we are recommending you watch Kraken Pro Wrestling, episode 52. Kraken Pro Wrestling, let me first say, Kraken Pro Wrestling is someone that has been on my radar for a very long time. They share things with me on Instagram that I promote for them because I love what they do. Their reels that they put together for action and things like that from their events are really good. But I hadn't really gotten deep into their stuff. There's a performer there for them, Brother Azrael, who also performs for Pro South Wrestling, who is really impressive. And he's been sending me some things here and there, some promotional stuff that I've gotten a chance to watch. And I like to put it up for those guys whenever they can because they're out there busting their ass. So I made a special point this week. I knew Brother Azrael made an appearance on this show. I know that Kraken had been that I've been looking at Kraken for a while, and so we really wanted to give Kraken Pro Wrestling their due. And when I chose this particular episode, it was just because they were on my radar. I didn't know anything about the episode, but boy, did it turn out to be a packed ass show, John.
Yeah, it was a fun show, man. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm ready to get into it, man.
Yeah, half an hour long, but only one match. And I'll say before I go too far, there are a lot of weekly YouTube shows that run with that format. One match, 20 to 30-minute episode, head on down the road. And when I fast forwarded through this to see kind of like when I watch these things, I always kind of scan it across on YouTube so I can see what's coming 5, 10, 20 minutes in to get an idea how it's going to lay out. And when I did, I noticed it was just the one match. And I didn't know what to expect. But this was not like those other shows that just put on one match and just, call it a day. They started off, the commentators, the general manager of Kraken, they were involved. They were talking about the show. They laid out the history of what had happened before. They talked about J2 Strong having to relinquish the title. It ends up still with Justin Case, who runs the business. Lamar Diggs had won the Kraken Classic and was waiting in the wings for whoever was going to win this match, which would be Trevor Eon against Dominic Stuckey of the business with Trevor Case in his corner. If Trevor wins the match against Dominic, he gets a 3-minute match against Justin Case for the Kraken Pro title. And before I talk about the match, let me just say it took me way too long to catch on to the name Justin Case. I don't know why that took me more time than I but it was like halfway through the episode I went, oh, Justin Case.
maybe you remember his cousin from back in the day, Just Incredible.
That's right. Oh my God. But look, and while we're talking about it, Justin Case is peppered throughout this entire episode. He's involved in the match, then he's in the follow-up match. And I think he's great. I think he does a really good job as sort of the manager and the glue that holds a faction together. He's got the belt. He's involved in. He's got his hands in everything. I really liked what I saw of Justin Case here.
Yeah, he definitely a good Weasley, slimy. Just you want to see him get his comeuppance. Champ. You know what I mean? So yeah, perfect, great.
100%. But first we got this Trevor Eon Dominic Stuckey match, which went damn near 20 minutes and was eventful.
It was a blink and you miss it. It was. I mean, you could not take your eyes off these two guys from just like you said, we talked about it a little bit before. The look of these two guys. They've got the visual of the character and what they're trying to do down. They look like $1 million. The entrances are great. The ring gear is great. Man, I can't say enough good things about these two guys.
No, me either. And Trevor Eon, especially for me, is just. I mean, he's the man. I was just the red eyes, the crawling on the floor like he's that girl from The Ring. Like there's a presentation there that's just all together.
Creepy, right? Creepy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely just love him. And not only that, he's not – there are a lot of wrestlers who have sort of that gimmick to them that are just sort of creepy guys. But this guy is big. He's strong. He can go in the ring. He looks like a main event wrestler, right?
Yes, very much so.
and Stuckey too. Let me don't let me don't let me forget about Dominic Stuckey, who was great.
Oh
Played the
yeah, he
heel.
was Stuckey was not, you know, overshadowed in this match by Eon by any stretch of the imagination. These were two evenly matched guys. I mean, that's what made this match so good.
Yes, that's a great way to put it. They are very evenly matched. Their body types are very similar. They're both big, strong, cut dudes, powerful, and yeah, like I said, it felt like when those two guys were standing in the ring looking at each other, it felt like it was a main event that was about to start.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
and then they delivered. As Dominic's using that briefcase whenever he can, then Justin Case is getting involved nonstop, which you have to expect. You had to expect what's going to happen from the very beginning. But then as it starts to get towards the end, the wheels come off. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, it turns into they called it a brouhaha. I'm calling it a Donnybrook.
A brouhaha.
But we're out there. Hold on. Let's see. So Dominic hits a package pile driver, which, by the way, beautiful package pile driver.
Dude, it was delivered perfectly.
Yeah. And then Trevor kicks out. And that's when everything goes crazy. Eon hits kiss, kiss, bang, bang. But the ref has been knocked out because Dominic got mad when Trevor kicked out of the package pile driver. So he hits the ref, knocks the ref out. Eon hits kiss, kiss, bang, bang. New ref comes out, but then Justin Case breaks up that pin. At that point, the locker room starts just dumping. And I tried to get as many names as I possibly could. I apologize if I missed some people. But J2 Strong comes out. He attacks Trevor. Then Draven comes out. He attacks Strong. Jasmine comes out after Draven. Then Travis Ray and his partner come out. They do the Dudley Boys wah that to Jasmine, which was pop me. It's always going to pop me. I love that shit. And doing it on a woman too was just a good touch. It's so good. But that's not even the end of it. They keep coming. Don Halo, Cassius King, Nathaniel Vanderbilt. This is when they call it a brouhaha. And then more people start coming. Wells, Brother Azriel, Lamar Diggs, Charlie Kills, Mr. Wilkes, Sam Hansen, William Huckabee, Aaron Black. And finally, the Sweeper. The Sweeper comes out.
Awesome.
Huge fan of him. Big presence in the ring. He helps the good guys and then pulls off his coveralls wearing a ref shirt. The Sweeper's your new ref. I was dying. I loved it so much.
Hey, I listened to commentary because it was so clear and so good. He is a licensed ref.
That is it.
So listen, he is a licensed Kraken ref. So there is no foul play here. This is all above board, Bob.
That's right. Hey, it's not his fault that Dominic knocked out the first ref. He was just trying to help out.
Hey, listen, Sweeper didn't come down as the second ref, did he?
No,
he had to insert himself after they went through a couple of refs.
That's right. At
that point, it's his duty. He's doing his duty.
100%.
Due diligence, Bob. Absolutely.
Don't go using these legal words on me. Now,
I got that from my friend Mortis. Okay.
Oh shit! But is it? It's not. It must just be a coincidence that 10 seconds after we see the ref shirt, Trevor Eon wins the match on a Saito suplex. But it was the perfect time. It was the perfect moment. And I made a comment to you. I want to go back a second about all these folks coming out of the locker room. And I made a comment to you before we started recording that if this was a WWE main event on a pay-per-view, people would say it's overbooked. But for a show like this with Kraken, at an indie show where you've got local people there who know these guys, they've seen them all night or whatever, to watch all of these guys pour out of the ring one by one, the entire roster, it's perfect. It's perfect. It popped me. I enjoyed it. If I was a fan of Kraken Pro Wrestling and I was there in the audience, I'd be like, dude, who the hell else is coming out? Now we got a guy in a ref shirt. I mean, it was really well done, I thought.
Agreed. It didn't. I think on a bigger show would have felt forced. We're forcing you to look at our guys. It's hey, don't forget, Joe Blow's back here too. Go buy a shirt. That kind of feel becomes a commercial. It almost feels like, hey, don't forget about these guys that we don't ever have time to put on TV. Don't forget they're still back here. Go buy some merch. a smaller show like this, it had a point. There was a reason that every single guy came out, and it paid off beautifully.
Yes. Agreed. Agreed. And I was, like I said, one by one, it was a parade of guys. I loved it. Um,
Yes.
and then Eon wins. He gets his 3-minute match
Mm.
against Justin Case. Justin Case spends 2.5 of those minutes begging for his life. And then, oh, no,
Mm.
sorry, not just begging for his life, but attempting to bribe Trevor Eon with cash in the
Yep.
ring. That doesn't work. Boom. Eon hits Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Title is his. New Kraken Pro Wrestling champion, Trevor Eon. I loved the whole thing from start to finish.
Dude, that crowd was so in on that.
Yes.
It was fun to watch. The crowd reaction was fun to watch.
Yeah.
You and I go to a lot of shows, and we have a lot of fun, and there's a lot of crowd interaction. But I'm always looking for that interaction,
Energy.
that
Yes.
energy, that synergy with the show and the performers. It was cool. It just, you could not have told that any better.
No, I agree 100%. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. I didn't know what to expect with a one-match episode, but this just blew my expectations away.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I'm with you. It blew my mind. It was cracking. Thank you for pushing. I'm glad we finally got it, and you know what? We get it now. We're there. We see you.
And again, you sort of took one of the things that I highlight sometimes about these shows, but I 100% agreed with you. The video was clear, high def.
Awesome.
Camera work was very good. It wasn't shaky. The commentary was clear. It made sense. They told the right story.
Commentary was great.
Yeah, all those little details about the production, they jump off the page at you for Kraken. Really, really well done, guys.
Yes, awesome.
So
big
again,
fans.
So for anybody who's listening, again, just to remind you, that is Kraken Pro Wrestling episode 52. It is on YouTube. It was released, I guess, as you're listening to this on Thursday, probably exactly a week ago. So go check that out and let us know what you think.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, John, it's time. We got Sampson is back. We talked to Tully Bertarelli last week, and he had some very interesting things to say about what happened at Marquette Mania, his match against Sampson.
Yes,
and now we've got Sampson back, and he's ready to respond. Welcome back to the show, UPW champion Sampson.
Yeah, guys. Thanks for finally getting to me. You guys had me sitting here for over 2 hours already. I was about to leave, so thanks for finally, switching over here.
Yeah. Sorry. Sorry about that, Sampson.
Sorry about that, Sampson.
Yeah. So let's talk about the last time we had you on. We were headed towards Marquette Mania, and your big match against Tully Bertarelli. From talking to Tully and from watching some stuff that happened at Marquette Mania, it seemed like the events of the day, the newsworthy events of the day, started way before your match.
Yeah, you could say that. You could say that. Between Big Con and Parker's match and the interesting events that unfolded there, the warning shots that I clearly fired to the UPW front office and Commissioner Romeo Valentino, that clearly fell on deaf ears.
What happened there?
Definitely interesting. Well, it's been over a year of this collective crap, this bullshit back and forth. I haven't had a single match in UPW or otherwise, honestly, except for Canada. Maybe they can't travel there. But anyways, any other match I've had inside the States, like there's been some sort of interference. I mean, I defended my title at a completely different promotion in Milwaukee in April, and Judge Jesse decided to come out of the crowd and interfere with what I was doing. So I just politely let him know that if they weren't going to do something about this, that I clearly am. And if I decide to do things my way, nobody's going to like that. And that's essentially the road we're going down right now.
Right. Yeah. And so you mentioned the match with Parker. So what happened with Parker in the collective earlier in the night in that match with Khan?
Well, surprise, surprise, Parker joined the collective. So they keep amassing people, and this group keeps getting bigger and stronger and more dangerous, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah, and who's helping you out with all this?
I've traditionally just been a one-man wolf pack, so I seem to be able to handle most things on my own. But like I said, the UPW front office definitely isn't helping. They haven't helped one bit at all. They've let this stuff continue for since last Market Mania. Essentially, is I guess when my actions spurred the the foundation of the collective by taking the contract from Jesse that he didn't sign after he won it for whatever reason. I took it from him. I signed it in the ring. I cashed it in. I won the title.
Right.
I mean, after the events from the first Market Mania, I mean, I deserve that. It's what I'm entitled to.
Right. No, 100%. And so when they add Parker, what is that? I think Tully, when we had Tully Bertarelli on, I think he said that makes it Parker, Madman Fulton, Tully. I'm missing one.
Yep.
I mean, this is a bunch of big dudes, and they keep adding.
Yeah. Yeah. And who knows, that faction may even grow larger.
Right. Yeah. Tully mentioned there might be a
And
woman.
who knows? I mean, that could happen, God, I hope not. But, that would just kind of expand their whole reach into multiple divisions at that point. But, like I said, it's up to UPW front office to put an end to this, and they just keep letting things happen. So I think it's time where I just have to take it all into my own hands and, like I said, do things my way. And, I don't think the office, the fans, I don't think anybody's going to like that, but it really doesn't matter at this point.
Right. Now I'm kind of jumping ahead in time,
Wow.
but because we're talking about your issues with management, I want to jump to the end of your match with Tully. Walk us through what happened there at the end with the collective and you choke slamming it. In the center of the ring. That was a mess.
Yeah, I gave them the warning. I told Romeo, either do something about it or I will. And again, Tully came to the ring with the collective. They just let these guys continue to do whatever they want. I don't even know where they come from, how they get in the building, but they're there. They show up. They got their druids with their stupid masks.
Yeah.
and he didn't listen. So, the whole match, I'm out there. I'm looking over my shoulder, multiple guys surrounding the ring. There's two monsters at the freaking end of the ramp. And I think Randy thought he was going to get in the ring and help me fight people off. But I was so pissed off at that point that he even allowed them to come out there.
Right.
He was the one that was going to feel that night. So I won my title. I handled business as usual. And I just stuck to my word. So that was just step one of me doing things my way. If you're not going to listen, you're going to find out.
Is that what he said to you? Like when he comes into the ring, it looked like you guys were back to back for a second, almost like you were going to take them on together, and then you changed your mind. Did I see that correctly, or?
It's this whole thing with the collective. There's been a lot of mind games. So maybe I baited him to let him think we were going to take them on. But when I saw him come down to the ramp with the collective already out there and around the ring, I knew what time it was. I mean, I made the decision right then and there that he wasn't walking out of there.
So then, moving forward, what are you looking to recruit people to take on the collective, or is this still going to be a one-man show? Is that your plan?
It's like one of those things where I feel like if I reveal my plans, if I reveal the things that I'm going to do, it gives people time to prepare. It gives people time to maybe counter strike, if you will. And I'm not going to allow for that right now because I'm not an idiot. So I'm just going to keep some of that stuff close to the vest, and people will just have to keep watching to find out, what Sampson's going to do in response to all of this.
Right. So the match with Tully, the line that I keep referring to, you may have heard it if you listen to the podcast with Tully. But when I messaged Tully about the match, his response was, "I bathed in his blood."
Yeah. It got a little messy. I still have remnants of it right here. You can see. There's blood right there on the belt.
Oh
Got it
wow.
all over the side
Yep.
plates. There, if you could see the
Oof.
leather, I mean, it's covered in my blood. Yes, that's right. But I still walked out with it. You know, he hit me in the face with the belt. It's got some sharp edges on it. It happens sometimes. You know, not the first time I bled in a match. Probably not the last time. It clearly didn't let him get the best of me. I, as always, was the better man that night.
100%. And John made a mention of it first before we had Tully on, but Tully was obviously ready for that match. He looked like $1,000,000. He was in great shape, as were you. I mean, you also look like $1,000,000 too. But I guess my point is, as your opponent, he looked like he had spent some time in the gym. He was getting ready and training to take you on, and you still come out on top.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah,
was...
I mean, you always got to stay one step ahead, and like, and nobody's going to outwork me in the gym. Nobody's going to put more work in than I do outside of the ring. That's what got me to where I am and why I stay where I'm at. But I will give it to him. Yeah, he looked good. He was in shape. He came in ready for a fight. You know, he did what he was supposed to do when you're taking on somebody of my caliber. You don't want to just sit on the couch eating potato chips. That's how you get hurt. So he had to prepare himself. So good for him.
Yeah, absolutely. But he certainly fell short. And we were very impressed with your performance in that match. I think, in fact, John and I were talking about before, because the first time we met you, you sent us some clips of you doing choke slams with a busted hip. So now to see you at Marquette Mania, you looked to be in great shape. You were quick. It was really impressive, man.
It's definitely the best we've seen you move. Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks, guys. That's what I've been trying to get back to, is the athlete that I was, years ago before things started falling apart. So, I mean, just went and got, some new wheels put on and got more miles to go, and it definitely made my feet lighter and makes me move better. Absolutely. I've been able to do things in the gym that I haven't been able to do for a long time, which is just helping overall with endurance, with the agility, with the movement and stuff like that, So it's nothing but positive stuff on that front, from the surgery to the recovery to all of that.
Right.
And even at, my age, 43 years old, I just keep getting younger.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that, man. What was I?
Awesome. You put you put the fact that you're mobile again with your size and skill and your strength. It's you're a scary man, Sampson. So
yes.
the collective has got its work cut out, man.
Here's the thing that I will say. Here's the thing that I will say. It's the collective. I've beat everybody in it. I've beat everybody in the collective. I may not have got the 1, 2, 3 on Parker Boudreaux. I got the DQ victory, but it was after I Samoan dropped his ass in the middle of the ring and was going for the 1, 2, 3 when the collective decided to interrupt. And nobody has ever kicked out of my chokeslam or kicked out of my Samoan drop. So we know where that was headed. So every single one of those guys has felt the wrath. So, I mean, I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I'm not even worried about any of them, the group as a whole, anything. To me, it's just, as of right now, kind of a joke.
No. Yeah. So what's next, Sampson? There was supposed to be an event coming up here at the end of the month that got canceled, right?
Yes. Yeah. Our venue had to, so we had to, and it was, 2.5, 3 weeks out from the show, roughly, maybe 3 weeks. So it didn't really give us enough time to, find a new venue or even relocate the show as a whole. So we just pulled the plug on that, move forward. Our next event for UPW is we're actually closing down the UP State Fair, which is a pretty big deal. The UP State Fair is held in Escanaba, Michigan. Our show is going to be August 17th. It's actually in the grandstands. There's over 100,000 people that visit the UP State Fair in that week.
Wow.
So it's a big deal. It's a big deal in the UP. It has the opportunity to be the biggest crowd UPW's ever been in front of. And we've crossed that 800 mark. We've pressed 600 people. We've pressed 800 people. So we've had some decent sized crowds. So I think this one could be by far the biggest. And right after our show, the fair is doing their fireworks display, and people watch those fireworks right from the same area that we have our shows at.
Oh, cool.
Right from the
Very
grandstand.
cool.
So
Wrestling
should
and fireworks.
should be an overall.
Yeah.
Right.
That'd be very
Hopefully
cool.
I can time it up where I get the 1, 2, 3, and as my hand gets raised, they start shooting the first ones off.
Yes. The WrestleMania.
There you go.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Did you? Oh, I know what I was going to ask. So the show that was canceled for June, I think you had a match that was already announced. Is that moved to August 17th?
Not 100% sure yet. I know that Romeo wants a match for whatever reason. He thinks he deserves one. Apparently you chokeslam a guy in the middle of the ring. They think they deserve a match with you, but I'll give it to him. I mean, that's what he really wants. He needs to just be careful because, I'm not like anybody he's ever been in the ring with before, and he hasn't seen any action in a while. So those are all grounds for dismissal, in my opinion. I'm not sure what we're doing at the fair, what they're going to book for me there. There has been talks of moving that match to the fair. There's been talks of possibly letting Romeo have a little more time to get ready and pushing that to the following show. So I'm not 100% sure what's going to be announced. I think they're going to work on some of that stuff this weekend.
Would that match? I mean, would you put your title on the line for something like that?
I mean, Romeo doesn't deserve a title shot. He hasn't done anything to get one. I mean, being a commissioner doesn't make you a number one contender. But there are some circumstances where I'd be willing to put it on the line because I'm not afraid of losing it, but I'm not gonna just put it on the line to put it on the line. There's got to be some form of collateral for it. And there is one thing that Romeo has that I do want. So we'll see. We'll see when I put it out there, and if he accepts to my terms, maybe he'll get a title shot.
Mm-hmm. Are you willing to tell us now what that thing is that you want, or are we going to have to wait and see?
I want his title as commissioner.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
I don't only want to be the UPW Heavyweight Champion. I want to be the commissioner of UPW. I want to call the shots because clearly he's not doing a good enough job.
Right.
Wow. Okay.
Title versus commissionership. You got my attention.
Title versus title.
I like it. I hope they do it. UPW, if they're listening, they better book it because I'm excited for it already. Shit.
Yep.
So I did. Well, I had another question about the collective and I lost it. But what else is on the horizon for Sampson? Let's maybe outside of UPW. What else you got going on?
Going to Canada July 10th up in the Sioux for CWE. And that's really all I've got going at this moment as far as bookings. I go a little bit lighter in the summertime just because it's the summertime and I do have kids and whatnot and a life outside of wrestling. So I live in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan here where it's really beautiful this time of year, but it lasts for about 4 months. So I try to get as much of that in as I can. And, if somebody reaches out, if the booking is worth it, I would obviously look into it or think about it, but I don't try to fill up so much over the summertime.
Yeah. Random unwrestling related question, but do you guys get as much humidity there off the lakes as we do out here on the East Coast, or?
Yeah, it gets humid and sticky here in the summers, and that obviously affects us in the winters too with comes in and whatnot. I mean, I live right on the south shores of Lake Superior, so it's the largest freshwater lake in the world, and when you stand on the shores of it, you feel like you're looking out at an ocean. I mean, that's how big it is, and to visualize that, it's like I've stood on the shores of the Atlantic and the Pacific, and it's like it's the water that you're looking at is just as vast. It's as far and as big as your eyes can see.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. That's CWE. Is that Danny Duggan?
Yes, it is. Hot shot, Danny Duggan.
I thought I remembered you saying that. Are you going to be wrestling him, or do you have some other opponent?
I don't know. Would it be great to get a rematch? I owe him one. He got me on a nice low blow up when I was last time up there. But I'm not sure. I've got some unfinished business with a couple of people up there, so we'll see what he's got in mind when I get there. I usually find out who I'm working when I show up.
Right. Okay. And what date did you say that show was?
July 10th.
Okay. I wanted to ask you before. You mentioned that you did an event. You wrestled a match in Milwaukee, and Judge Jesse got involved. What happened there?
I was wrestling Eric Surge. He's currently the North American OVW champion. It was for Slammin' Championship Wrestling. They asked me to come down and want to know if I'd put my UPW title on the line. I said yes, as long as they're paying me. So paid me, so I did. I was beating Surge pretty good. Jesse decided to just show up out of the crowd, which distracted me for a short second. Let Surge get a quick headbutt in a God, what is that? What is that move that Drew McIntyre does? His kick.
That Claymore?
Anyway, the Claymore, yes. He was able to sneak in a quick headbutt and hit me with the Claymore, but I recovered. And he ate a choke slam and took a pin.
Dang. Eric Surge.
And then after that, there was some words. No, he was a formidable opponent. He's a big dude. And after the match, we exchanged some words, and that's where Jesse let me know he'd see me in Vegas. Where again, the following week, I'm wrestling in Las Vegas with Super Beast. Again, heated close match, and who pops up at ringside? Judge Jesse. So that's actually where Tully slid in the ring like a coward and hit me from behind with a chair and ran out faster than he ran in.
He is an opportunist.
He could have just asked. But
yep, that's right. Well, I mean, I'll be interested to see how this goes on, because I know that when Tully was on a couple of weeks ago, speaking of asking, he issued an open invitation to you to join the collective. And so it doesn't sound like that's anywhere on your thought process right now, but he's scheming and thinking too. Well, he's got stuff in the works.
I don't hang out with losers, so.
Oh.
And they've all lost to me.
That's true.
Very good point. Very good point.
I did, Sampson, I'm kind of jumping around, but just stuff we haven't had you on for about a month, but you also sent us a copy of the women's Fatal 4-Way from Marquette Mania, and I kind of wanted to give them their flowers here because that match was fantastic. All four of those women were amazing.
Yes, that was a great match. That was up there, definitely the top three of the night. A lot of the people that were in attendance and that have seen the show, they thought Facade and T-Dub was a great match, probably the match of the night, with the women's in the main event, which was me and Tully's match, being a 2A and 2B type of a scenario. Some people thought it was the second best. Some people thought it was the third best. Either way, when you're on a card with I think nine matches to be considered by the fans in those top three is pretty good. I thought the women's match was great. I would have put it right up with T-Dub and Facade's match. We got a new women's champion, Danny Moe.
Yes.
Congrats to her.
Yeah.
Not taking anything away from Zandra. I feel like if Zandra had she been able to get in the ring a little bit quicker, she could have broke that pin up and saved her title. But maybe you'll see those women go at it in a third time.
Oh man, I'm here for it.
We would be down for it. I'd love it.
So
I was saying before, and you've talked about this before too. You were the one that turned me on to Zandra Lee. But after watching that match, I was telling John, I don't know how to put it. Like, she just gets it. Like, she's always in the right place. She knows how to work the crowd.
Yeah.
Like, there's just there's these little professional things that Zandra Lee does in the ring that tie the match together that I'm a huge fan of hers.
Yeah, she's exceptional, and I think she's only 20 years old, maybe 19.
Wow.
Yeah, she started training when she was 15. Dan Jarrus, who's worked for us a couple times, he runs I think it's Northland Wrestling. from like North Bay, Canada, which is about, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours north of Toronto. I feel like I think it's like 3 hours from the Sioux, maybe north. So it's up there somewhere in Canada. It's a vast area, but he's the one who trained her. He's actually, in my opinion, he's got to be a pretty good trainer because I've worked on shows with a lot of his guys, and they're all exceptional. They're all very well rounded. They get it, the crowd work, the presentation, the storytelling in the ring, all that stuff. Similar, like you see with Zandra, there's a guy named Josh Bain, the butcher, the backwood butcher, Rusty Blackwell. There's a tag team, the Digglers. They're freaking hilarious heels. They're all trained by Dan, and I mean, if you look at that body of work, it's like, wow, that guy obviously knows his shit.
Oh, that's awesome.
That TW3 match is it? I mean, I don't think they've done the episodes yet, the actual episodes, but is it posted anywhere?
It should be. I believe it was the episode of Uprising from 2 weeks ago, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Because it was the opening
match.
match.
Check it out.
It was the opening match of Marquette Mania. And they're just basically going through that show in order for the Uprising episode. So yeah, it would have been like last week or the week before. I think they're finishing. They're going to show the Sin versus Sin match and the end of another match. The end of whatever they showed this week, and then the Sin versus Sin match this coming Saturday.
Okay. All right. Very cool. Yeah, I want to look forward to that because, like I said, I've seen TW3 in Wisconsin. Big fan of his work, and Facade is Facade. Man.
Yeah,
he's
awesome.
Facade is ridiculous.
Both those guys were really looking forward to working with each other. It was the first time that match has ever happened. For whatever reason, nobody's booked that. I mean, both those guys have been around OVW for a while now and in and out. And it's like someone should have put them in the ring together because it was pretty electric. It was good. I mean, T-Dub was really excited. I've known T-Dub. T-Dub's the first guy I ever locked up with in a wrestling ring. So when I went to do my tryout at the Dojo Pain, he was there. He was, one of the guys that would come in and kind of help run classes. So when it came time to doing stuff, like, I've learned a lot from him. And then later on, he opened up his own school, Hybrid Wrestling Entertainment, and that was also in Green Bay. And I was driving down there once a week. When they were having classes, it was like Wednesday nights or Tuesday nights or whatever. I'd drive the 3 hours from Marquette down to Green Bay, train for a couple hours, drive home. And it was like him and Jay De Niro that were primarily training me. Those guys are awesome. They'll always be cool to me. So learned a lot from them. And I've been able to get in the ring with Jay once, and was actually supposed to work T-Dub a few months ago when last time we were in Escanaba, but he ended up getting really sick and wasn't able to make the flight from LA out here. It was sick for a couple of weeks or whatever. So that didn't happen, but hopefully in the future it does. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I know I'm going to make another comment about Marquette Mania. That was the other thing I had on my notes because we talked about it before, the Upertron. I want to go. I'm going to make it a bigger statement than just the Upertron. But John and I talked about this as well. The entire presentation at Marquette Mania felt so much bigger than. It felt like it didn't feel like an independent wrestling show. The Upertron looks professional. The entrances were professional and they made sense. They were dramatic. There was what's the word? There's pageantry to it. The whole thing was just an incredible production, man. Especially like we've already talked about how great the storytelling is at UPW, especially in an independent setting. But the setting for you guys setting up the whole venue for Marquette Mania in such an elaborate way is just incredible. Really nice job at UPW.
So we're really lucky here in Marquette. There's a production company that, locally they do a lot of like weddings and parties and things like that where they just need like a DJ and whatnot. But nationally, they've done all kinds of things from setups at Super Bowl for Super Bowl weekends in different cities and like where the Super Bowl is to, there was like 2 years ago when Taco Bell had their like big unveiling party where it was like an Apple unveiling thing where they had the guy out on the screen with the headset on the stage and everything was all lit up and super cool. That was all Double Trouble that set that up in Vegas to do that thing. And so like we give them the opportunity here locally to really put what they can do on display. The trussing, the ramp, the Upertron, that's all Double Trouble. So we have our own entranceways that we set up in our smaller venues and whatnot. But when it comes down to Market Mania, we bring my big ring in there, which is the 20x20.
All right.
We set that up, and Double Trouble comes in. They set up everything around us, and from the sound to everything. So they do a fantastic job. For instance, last year was the first time that Ken Kennedy or Ken Anderson has caught the microphone from the ceiling since he's in the WWE. And we had that set up for him. And it was the old school mic, dropped all the way down on the cord. He did his gimmick. I mean, he hasn't used the Ken Kennedy name in forever, but he was so into what he was doing. He Mr. Kennedy, like he came out instead of Anderson. He's been doing Anderson for years, you know.
I was say it was Reflex, man. Reflex.
Yes. Yep. And so the crowd got to experience that.
That's cool. That's awesome.
We had the Headbangers there last year, and they were like, they literally said this was the best produced show that they've been on since they left WWE. So those are some nice compliments from people who have been around, you know, that we do go above and beyond as far as an indie promotion goes, and we're trying to be more than just that run of the mill indie promotion. We try to provide good stories. We try to provide, you know, the quality and the storytelling, the compelling storytelling, and put the production aspect behind it as well with our entrances, with our cold spark, with the music, with the lights, you know, all that stuff that we can pull off.
Oh, it definitely shows, man. It's you know, one of the things Bob and I talk about, you know, we watch so much different stuff from all over. And the production is really something that, you know, as you're kind of consuming this like we are, you know, a lot of it over, you know, via the internet, the computer, you know, with streaming apps, that really sets the tone right off the bat. It's what grabs you in right as you start. And you guys, what you've got going on is magic, man. It grabs you. So, you know.
Yeah, thank you. Well, you know, and it is like when you walk into Lakeview Arena, which is normally like your average, you know, hockey arena that most northern towns have. You walk in there and it's dark, but the trussing's up around the ring and there's lights doing this in different directions, and that screen is lit up, and we're playing the promos that have been leading up to the show, and we're playing the advertisements for the show and the commercials that have been running and the interviews that have been done on TV6, and giving everybody that whole backstory for like that hour or so, hour and a half from doors open till the time the show starts. It gives people, like, I've been approached in a store with a fan who was like, I've never been to a UPW show before, but when I walked into Lakeview Arena, because my buddy was bugging me to go, he was like, I was like, holy shit, where am I right now? You know, he's like, I felt like I was walking into Monday Night Raw. And I was like, well, that's what we want to do. We want to create a spectacle. We don't want to just have a ring on the center of the floor with the big bright lights on and guys just walking out of a locker room. You know, we want it to be what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. And to put that in perspective for any of you who are listening, he's talking about using the big board to play, you know, videos to preview the show, promos that have been done leading up with the story and all that. John, do you know the last time I went to a wrestling show? In fact, the only time I can think of that I went to a wrestling show in the last 3 years and they did that, the company was New Japan. Just to give you an idea of the level that y'all are on. Like, that's the only company I've seen do it besides you.
And that board's like, it's like 27 by 15 or something like that. It's ridiculous. Every year it's gotten bigger. They've added more pieces. They've added more pieces to that digital wall. And then, of course, every year the entrance videos have gotten better and people put more into that, you know, and we have more footage to add into them. And yeah, it's cool. It's a cool thing. And it's also cool when we bring in, you know, guys like Big Con, and he's like, listen, I want to come out with the cloak and the mask on. And then I want I'm going to stand there and have people take it off of me, and I'm going to have my Ascension gear on underneath it. And it's like,
That's awesome.
and he hasn't worn that shit since he was in the WWE, you know? So it's like,
Right.
it gives even the talent an opportunity to get creative, and to have some fun with it, right? Because if you, I mean, that's why we're here. So it's fun, and it's like, if you can't have that kind of fun with it, then what's the point? So, and the whole thing with Marquette Mania is like not only a spectacle for the fans, but for the boys and girls too. You know, for the ones in the locker room, like. So many promotions out there that shove you in a freaking 8x12 closet with 15 people sharing 3 chairs to get dressed, to change. It's hot, it's sweaty, it's stinky. It's actually kind of disgusting in some settings, and like gives everybody an opportunity to have like a nice locker room, the proper warm up areas, you know, like the gorilla positioning, and like a good time for everybody that's involved. You know, there's nothing, it doesn't suck for anybody on either end. You know, the talent's taken care of, fans are taken care of, and the entertainment that's provided is top notch.
Yeah, and
absolutely.
The crowd reaction was on point. You could hear it. I mean, they popped so many times just in the 2 videos I've seen.
Yeah, yeah. I have. You can see a video on my Instagram where it's like I'm like warming up, and for whatever reason my music played first, and he normally doesn't. Like, I'm always usually last to go out in my matches. So the match is over. I'm like, okay, here we go. I could get my last couple push-ups in here. Let me put my belt on around my waist, you know. And as I'm like grabbing for my shit, my music starts, and you can hear like I've got like my own song or whatever, and the crowd has become accustomed to it. When that bass line hits in the beginning of it, it's like,
right.
Like you could just hear the eruption from the crowd. It's like, it's kind of cool. It was a cool kind of candid moment that was also caught, because I just had a guy follow me around with the camera, you know, like we didn't know that was about to happen. So it couldn't have been more perfect. And he got to follow me on my walk, you know, all the way through the back area into the back of the the entranceway, and I kind of up the stairs and pop out on the ramp, you know.
Yep.
So it's like the backstage view of the entrance rather than what you see on the front end of it.
Right. Cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. And let me tell you something. Anybody who's listening, promoters, running indie shows or performers, that stuff makes a difference. I was, Lauryn and I were just talking about the show earlier, the MCW show we went to last week, and MCW does a great job putting their guys over. And when that happens at an independent promotion, your fans begin to recognize the song, like Sampson's saying. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be, the Rolling Stones or Kesha, or I don't know, I'm naming people, but you know what I mean? If a local person puts together an entrance theme for someone who's a local performer, and those people and the promotion gets their guys over, they will sing that song, or they will know that song the moment the bass hits, just like that. It's such a little thing, but it's so important to me. Because that the music ties it all together.
UPW, we can't use copyrighted music because we have our show is on Fox UP up here on the local Fox network. So, and with YouTube also, you'll get flagged for copyrighted stuff. And if you want your entrance to be televised or, even recorded, you can't have copyrighted music. So it was, a lot of people have AI stuff done or whatever, but I happened to get lucky. I know a guy who has a band down in the Detroit area, and he was super stoked to have the project, and he came up with a cool song. It's called The Epic of Sampson. It's on all the platforms, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, all of it. So it's catchy. You should give it a listen sometime. It's pretty impressive to know. And should say he has a band, but this one guy did every part of the song. So like he and it, when we first started talking, he had sent me this video, and it was like a video of him like being the lead singer of a band, talking to his bandmates, which was him in different wigs and clothes. And then he walks down the stairs as the drummer, because the drummer's always late. And he sits down, and it's like he made this video, a music video of a song. Right. He played all the instruments, was every person. He cut everything together, did all the music. You know what I mean? It was pretty talented. I was like, yeah, man, you can make my song. And it was the same thing. He did the guitar. Cool. He spent, 2 days working on the guitar part, put the drums in, laid the vocals over it. So it was cool.
Yeah.
And I feel blessed to have my own song like that. That's very unique to me, and nobody else has or can use.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Do you want to let us know what's the artist's names? We can put him over and let people know about him. Or
The band's name is 42 Weeks, I believe. I'll have to look on my. Let me look at my iTunes real quick. His name's Mike, but I'll plug the band name. There we go. Yeah, 4,000 Weeks. Sorry,
4,000 weeks.
4,000 Weeks is the band.
okay. All right. Good. Yeah. Anybody wants to check that out? Check it out. I've got a playlist that is all entrance themes, so this can go right on it.
Same. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I want to go back to something you said earlier, and maybe I'm just catching a little detail here. You said my 20x20 ring. Do you own a ring?
Yeah. Yep.
How did that come? How did it come about that
20
you bought one?
Well, when I got into business, it was just something I wanted to have, and I seeked one out and picked it up. Well, and it was also to help out UPW. The rental fees can be expensive when someone's got to drive up from Wisconsin to bring a ring, right? So I was like, well, I'll get a ring. I've got a spot to set it up, and we can use it for shows, and I'll charge you way less, type of a thing. And got the big ring, but then their venue changed that they were using, and that ring would no longer work, because for a while we primarily ran in one spot in a town called Iron Mountain at the Max Entertainment Center, so they had a lower ceiling, so we ended up having to get a lowboy ring, which I found down in like Tennessee. I took the ride down there in my truck and trailer and loaded it up and brought it up, and we used that for a couple of years. But now we're kind of out of that venue. That place is shutting down and becoming something else. So we're going to be, I think, using the big one more. It's just more of a spectacle, when you walk in, and like the wrestling ring is our stage to perform on, and that's a proper stage. I mean, it's 20 by 20. It's a steel structure with steel frame with 20-foot 2x12 suspended across it. I mean, it's the real deal. So I just think it makes a big difference in what the product looks like for shows that we use that ring versus shows we use the low boy, which, the low boy is like 12 inches off the ground. It's like, you're just taking a little step up into it. It doesn't even feel right at times, so.
Yeah. Well, we saw a show, John. We just saw a show here in Baltimore that had a ring like that too, and we talked about it at the very beginning, and then we completely forgot about it. So
that was the women's tournament we saw, right?
Yep. Like I said, I think you mentioned it like before the show started, and then we never talked about it again. So it was like something we noticed, but then okay, you know what I mean? Then the show starts and whatever.
Right. Yeah. You kind of, at first you're like, wow, what is this, a midget ring?
Right.
But, yeah.
Right. No, I ask about buying the ring because, well, my wife doesn't like me talking like this, but every now and then I get a hankering or start looking around, like maybe I'll buy a ring, and for, who knows what the future holds, I guess, and I was curious if you went through like normal channels and bought it from some sort of person who sells rings, or if you went through, had like a connect.
No, I found it was used. I found a used ring and picked it up. They didn't have any of the wood or anything like that. Ordered a new canvas for it. Went and bought all the 2x12s and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. Just like I said, that was for my own personal edification, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, you can find them online anywhere. Thank you. Well, you can find them online. They're all over the place. There's a guy out of Ohio that makes them. wRAHstlemania. That's the promotion, but he makes like rings and sells padding, and
oh wow,
also does like all our ring aprons are sublimated ring aprons and entrance curtains and stuff. He has the connection in China to get that stuff printed and sent back, and yeah, it's a good contact to have if anyone out there needs any of that equipment. That's where you go.
All right. Well, I'm definitely gonna check it out. Not when my wife's around, because she gets pissed when I start looking at rings, but after the fact.
Yeah, never know. Start up a promotion. Start running some shows.
That's it. Oh my goodness. Well, Sampson, listen, it's always great to have you on the show. We're looking forward to the events in August. I wish we didn't have to wait so long to find out, but we'll learn more about that as it comes along. And we certainly would love to have you back on after those 2 events in August to see to catch up and see what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm down anytime, guys. Anytime, just let me know.
Yeah,
just don't make me wait so long next time.
Sorry about that.
We're very, very sorry about that.
Time for that.
Yeah. Blame it on my daughter. She ran
Understood.
long.
All right.
All right.
Your daughter who hates Youpers.
That's it. Same daughter.
I was gonna say, wow. Throw a kerosene on that fire, my friend.
Yep.
That's right. All right. Well, listen, Sampson, it's good to having you on, and we look forward to talking to you again real soon.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys, you have a great night. Thanks for having me.
All right, Sampson. Stay healthy, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Sampson. UPW Heavyweight Champion Sampson, everybody. Wow. That guy's intense, and he seems more intense now.
Yeah, I think we may have upset him a little bit, and I got a little nervous.
Yeah. I didn't.
I'm gonna go check my my drawers after the end of this podcast. I got scared a little bit. I was hugging my cat a little tight.
Well, I could have told him. I could have told him it's all your fault we ran long, but I decided, to blame it on Lauryn instead.
That's it. When in doubt, blame a child.
That's always my motto for damn sure. Oh shit, man. And before we get into all we got left for the show is our weekend preview. But I got a couple of things that we were talking about earlier in the show. I just wanted to come back to real quick. Because we were talking about the Beast Mordos earlier, as we were going through the show, I saw a tweet or a news, something on the news from that Sasha Banks and Mordos are now an item. Did you see that?
I saw that you sent it to me, and
that's right.
Like I said, this guy is winning, man. I mean, you're gonna. Listen, she's not only is she a great wrestler, she's easy on the eyes. She is, one of the top stars in the business. She's got the Snoop Dogg connections. Come on, man. Yep. Mordos, man, you're my new hero.
Seriously, man, Mordos is winning. Mordos is winning like Charlie Sheen in 2008. He is winner, chicken dinner.
Winning.
But the other thing that I didn't send you was apparently she tweeted, I guess, Sasha did, Mercedes Moné, after the announcement, all the news came out that he was a lawyer now. And she tweeted, "I can't wait to sue everybody."
Hey, listen. So what I'm hearing is a lawyer after your own heart.
That's exactly right. Look, I just don't want to go against Mordos in the ring or in court. So as long as I can stay away from that.
The last thing you would want to do is object to anything he's got to say. I would love to see a judge hold him in contempt.
That's right.
Go ahead. You do that, Judge.
I have always wanted to put a German suplex on opposing counsel in a trial. I feel like he might actually do it.
He may actually do it. You're absolutely right. The beast instincts may come out.
Oh my goodness gracious! And the other thing I wanted to talk about that we talked about a little earlier, are we going to DAWG? Are we set?
We're in for DAWG. We're in for DAWG.
All right, So there's our announcement, ladies and gentlemen. The Indie Wrestling Experience is going on location. We will be at Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators on June 28th.
Riverton, New Jersey.
Yeah, Sacred Heart Church. If you don't know the address, go back and listen to Dr. Zirconium's interview. I think he said it 20 times.
a few times, and I know we're getting a scoop of ice cream and a cup of coffee. I know that. So
damn straight. I'm looking forward to that event. I can't even.
Yes, it should be cool. It should be fun.
Yeah, no, very much.
The card. After talking to Dr. Zirconium, that card is ridiculous. So I am looking forward to it. And was it 8 or 9 matches? I mean, it's gonna be awesome.
Yes, it is literally going to be an event for sure. I'm
Absolutely.
looking forward to it. Lauryn, I put the poster in front of Lauryn last night, and she is excited. She is going to come with us. So
Awesome. Say I'm not 100% on British. As you and I talked off air, my daughter and her boyfriend may be moving out, and so that may be a moving weekend for them. So he may be out, but if they're not moving, he will definitely be in. So, but if nothing else, you, Lauren, and I, we'll have a great time.
absolutely, man. And hey, if it's a moving weekend for them, another good reason to get out of the house for you.
Hey, I've hit the age where all I do is pay for gas, and I'll buy some boxes for you. That's my contribution to moving.
There you go. There you go. All right, so let's talk about, I do have another announcement for the end of the show, but I'm going to save it for the end of the show because it has to do with
Okay.
our podcast in 2
Awesome.
weeks. But let's run down some of these shows here that are coming up this weekend, some of these events coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
Starting out in my kids' normal neck of the wood in Monroe, Michigan. As you all are listening to this, that's probably tonight, Thursday, the 19th of June. Insane Wrestling Revolution is having a show called Meltdown at the FOP out in Monroe. They are going to have the aforementioned Madman Fulton taking on Myron Reed, John.
Ooh. You know my love for Myron Reed.
I know.
I think the world of Myron Reed. But man, Madman Fulton, that is a lot to handle.
Seriously. I would be all over. That match right there is worth the price of admission.
Absolutely.
But also on that show, you've got Cal Hero, who's going to take on Adam F. and Wick for the U.S. title. You've got the A-Team Special Forces versus Tie or Die for the tag titles. Your boy Cody Deaner's going to be there taking on the Kenny Urban.
We got a Diener sighting.
Did we talk about this before? How Diener showed up at the pay-per-view, the last pay-per-view after he lost that loser leave town match?
Yeah, you were telling me, yes.
The local man or whatever they called him, and he's got the Suns jersey.
Yep.
Dying. Absolutely dying.
Awesome.
Still on this same show, Rich Swann will be there taking on Dread King Logan. And a women's match.
Another guy we love, yes.
No doubt. And a women's match, Jody Threat taking on Kitty LaFleur. That's going to be a heck of a show out in Monroe, Michigan. For Friday, Ruthless Pro Wrestling is having a show called Face Eater out at Lola's in Riverview, Florida. This is
of course it's Florida.
All right, but this is death matches. This is John's new bailiwick. The death matches. John has a bloodlust now.
But somebody, hey man, the first taste was free, and now I have a problem.
So you know a lot of these names here, John. On this show, Bobby Beverly.
I do now.
Bobby Beverly's going to take on Nathan Mowry for the Kamikaze title. Jesus God.
Nice.
That's going to be a bloodfest. Your boy Lil Sicko is going to be there taking on Hardcore Hillbilly.
Both of them, awesome.
Your boy Hoodfoot going to be there defending the RPW title against Sean Campbell. An intergender match, JJ Escobar is going to take on Lindsay Snow. And then Otis Koger versus Jameson Shook.
Yowza. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say somebody may bleed in that match, Bob.
You think?
I'm just throwing it out there. Somebody may bleed.
Oh, man, that's going to be one hell of a show. You deathmatch fans, get down to Riverview, Florida Friday night. My Lord.
No kidding.
Let's see. Saturday. Do I have any Sunday stuff? I don't have any Sunday stuff this week. So all the rest of this stuff is Saturday, June 21st, starting in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Brew City Wrestling is having New Blood Rising at Elks Lodge 400. Let's see. They got Salem Crane defending the BCW title against Sean Jordan. Josiah Vatsana is going to take on Keyshawn Cannon. Yeti Henderson. John, you got to see Yeti Henderson. I got to send you a video of Yeti Henderson, man. His whole thing.
Yeah, you've mentioned Yeti a few times.
Oh my God, he's so good. It's like he's like delirious in the sense that you could probably speak to him for a half an hour and never actually hear a word in English, but still one hell of a gimmick. But he's going to defend the Elks Lodge 400 title against Dysfunction. You got an intergender match with special referee CJ Cole as Raven Radix is going to take on Rose St. James. The tag titles are going to be on the line as Kevon Lee and Nick Colucci are going to defend against Caribbean Arrogance. And we also got Max Holiday taking on Brandon Blaze. Yeah, me too.
Oh wow, Max Holiday. Haven't seen that name for a little bit. So nice.
Yeah, no, I'm not really familiar with Max Holiday, honestly.
I've seen a few things pretty good. I think if you check them out, you'll kind of fill right in with me. You'll like it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'll check and make a note of that. Max Holiday. All right. Also in Wisconsin, this time in Danbury, Wisconsin, Midwest All-Star Wrestling is going to have High Stakes for Life at the St. Croix Casino with some pretty cool appearances, John. Sean Waltman, both members of Demolition and JBL are going to be there.
Dude, I listen, Waltman, I mean, X-Pac, that's our wheelhouse. We love them. JBL, who doesn't love JBL? But man,
Demolition,
little John, little Bob, Demolition. Oh, I would, that would be worth the price of admission for me.
No bullshit, man. Let me tell you something, and I don't know, I may be alone here, but I was way more of a Demolition guy than I ever was a Road Warriors guy. Sorry, not sorry.
You shut your mouth, Bob. Shut it. Shut your mouth, sir. What is wrong with you?
I do. I love
they
those
were
guys.
Good, but they were no LOD, sir.
No, they weren't. They weren't. They were just my guys, man. I loved those guys. I liked watching them just cut through all those teams in the WWF at a time when the WWF was Tag Team Wrestling Central, and just
absolutely
like a hot knife through butter, man. For a year and a half,
they were, I mean, we know these guys had careers outside of WWE before, after, but as far as a homegrown monster team for our age, they were that. I mean, you had LOD out there, you had some big, you had Doom back in the day, you had some big guys, but those were WWF guys. And they, like you said, they were WWF and they were the monsters of WWF. And like you said, at a time when nobody in WWF looked like that, wrestled like that, all the tag teams were all about style. They were all about precision. And these guys just, outside of maybe the Samoan SWAT team, these guys just beat guys down, just beat you down. And yeah, awesome.
100%,
good for them, man.
No
Glad to see them out.
And a lot of people go right to, well, Demolition was a knockoff of the Road Warriors. To me, am I crazy, or was it the Powers of Pain that were really the Road Warriors knockoff?
I would have gone. They were more, the Powers of Pain were more the Road Warriors knockoffs. That knockoffs. I don't like the connotation that gives. They were more inspired by Legion of Doom.
Yes.
Demolition was they really, they had the spiky shoulder pads. That's about it.
Yep.
Other than that, everything they did was their own thing. To me, they were more, rock and roll and kind of Kiss centric, the theatrics of it. And they just happened to be just big bruisers. LOD was this Road Warriors inspired, futuristic, post-apocalyptic, monsters. Two totally different things. I could get similarities, yes, but a knockoff. Nah, I'm with you. Powers of Pain were more the WWE's version of Legion of Doom.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. But yeah, I'm a big Demolition guy. I would love to see them back in the good graces of the company, especially now after Vince is gone.
Oh, absolutely.
All the bitterness from those folks who were part of that lawsuit. Maybe now can go away and we can see some of those folks getting into the Hall of Fame.
Would be great.
Yep. But on this show, John, we're just going to keep on bringing it, man, because not only are you going to have Sean Waltman, Demolition, and JBL, but Sierra versus Heather Monroe, NDS taking on the Chop Shop. Oh, Woo. Shit. Oh, right?
All right. Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
That match alone is going to be fantastic. You got NDS taking on the Chop Shop. You got Verk defending the MAW title against Jossie. You got David Ali defending the MAW Warriors title against your boy Joey Jet Avalon, and Coda
There we
Jacobs versus Shay Diesel in a street fight.
Hey, I'm always down for a good street fight.
By the way, I wanted to say this. I don't want to say, it doesn't matter which promotion it is, but you know where Waldorf is because we're both from Maryland. And Lauryn said something to me last night that cracked me up. She was asking about this show that might be coming up in Waldorf here soon, and asking about which matches there were. And I said to her, I think one of them might be a street fight. And her response to me was, dude, nobody wants a Waldorf street fight. She's right.
As a couple of guys that grew up and may have seen a few of those back in the day.
That's right.
No, nobody wants to see it for lots of good reasons. One, they're violent, and two, a lot of times they're just sad to watch.
That's exactly right. I saw enough of those in the food court at the mall to know plenty about
Hey now. Hey. Sabaros!
Oh, yeah, man. Shout out to Sabaro, man. That was the spot back in the day.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, my
If
goodness.
you know, you know.
Seriously, man. Oh, my God. The Sabaro days. That was some shit.
Hey, man. St. Charles Sound Center throwdown, brother.
That's it. Give St.
Could have
Charles
seen
Town
it. You could have
Center
gone and seen it every Friday and Saturday night. Just about every night.
Yep. And that was back when you could still smoke in the mall. I'm showing my age, but that was back when you could still smoke in the mall. So there were cigarettes hanging out of mouths and sometimes other things hanging out of people's mouths.
Oh, Lord.
Good times, man. Good times.
Yep.
Let's see. Out in Shelbyville, Indiana, one of my rankings promotions that I love, New Era Wrestling. They're going to have Heat Wave at the Boys Club out in Shelbyville, Indiana. They're going to have Cavron Canyon defending the All-American title in a triple threat against Dylan Cole and Braden Lee. They're going to have Brody Bodkins versus John Anderson. Stevie Ash taking on Carter Kaufman for the women's title. Eric Surge, who Sampson just talked about wrestling, who, if you guys haven't seen him, he is literally no joke. That guy is big. He is powerful. Very impressive. Have you seen Eric Surge?
Yep. I've seen a couple of matches. He is as advertised.
Yeah, 100%. He's going to be defending the NEW title in a no DQ match against Anthony Toatel. Our guy from Appalachian Mountain Wrestling that we talked about before, Ethan Heyer, is going to be there in a submission match against Tyler Lydall. And the tag titles are going to be on the line as Anti-Hero takes on the Hadley Wall. Viral Pro Wrestling, they're having a show called Summer of Reckoning down in Augusta, Georgia at the Warren Road Community Center. Jackson Drake is going to take on Sean Legacy in a WWE ID match. That one should be pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah.
I saw Sean Legacy was on NXT a week or two ago. I think he got a shot at Ethan Page for the North American title. Looked real good.
Did he? I have to go check it out. So I'm a little behind on my NXT, but yeah. This death match is taking up my time, Bob.
Oh, well, hey, seriously. And we're going to talk about that in a minute because we got more death matches coming next week.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, don't nice me. This is all your fault. You did this. This is your next week's deathmatch show talk is going to be on John, man. I'm looking forward to it. The show you sent me looks incredible. I can't wait to watch it.
Yep, I can't wait to watch it again.
Right. Let's see. Oh, so we're talking about the Viral Pro, Augusta, Georgia. You also got Billy Brash is going to defend the Outbreak title against Alexander Lev. And then Owen Knight and Hunter James are going to battle for the number one contendership to that title. So they got next. Drew Hood is going to defend the VPW title against James Johnson. Superstars are going to take on TNT for the tag titles. And a women's title clash, my friend. Erica Demia, the Viral Pro Women's Champion, defending against the NWA's Kylie Page. Dude, what's up?
That's going to be nice. That's going to be real nice.
Yeah, it is. Looking forward to that. Let's see. Oklahoma City doesn't get much love here, so we're going to talk about Empire Pro Wrestling. They're having Mid-South Mayhem at the Empire Ballroom in OKC. Damian Morte, I'm not sure. I should have looked. is going to take on Gideon Vane for the EPW title in a lumberjack match. Marquez Warren is going to battle Neshoba. Bishop Simon taking on Gemini. El Gallardo Uno is going to take on Mitch Onyx for the international title. And the Psychotic Messengers are going to look to capture the tag titles from the Crash Bros. And Austin, Texas, Uncanny Attractions is having Knuckin' If You're Buckin' at the Highland Lounge. This show is, if you haven't seen Uncanny Attractions, John, I don't know if you have or not, but they are, there's a lot of theatrics involved. There's a lot of colorful things and colorful characters happening at Uncanny Attractions, and I am here for every minute.
All right.
You'll know some of these people here. Only Friends are going to take on City Boys in a tag title tournament, round 1. Then you're going to have Morgan Mercy versus Anakin Murphy versus Ray Lynn versus Devlin versus Matt Locked in a 5-person, it's a fatal 5-way, I think.
Wow.
In the tag title tournament, another first-round match, Nixie XS is going to team up with Mackenzie Morgan to take on Laney Luck and Shaza McKenzie, dude. I don't know why. I don't want anything to do with that team, boy. Laney Luck and Shaza McKenzie might steamroll that whole tournament.
Nope, and that's a first-round matchup. That
right.
is whew.
Right.
That we got to look into this tournament a little more, I think. Wow.
Yeah, that's going to be a hell of a show. And then they're also going to have Prince Lai taking on Mateo Valentine. So anybody who hasn't seen Uncanny Attractions who might be near Austin, Texas, boy, definitely check them out. We're doing a double shot in Oklahoma today. Lionheart Championship Wrestling is having Brawl in Bristow, Oklahoma at the Body Progression Gym. Sean Ryan versus Raiden Taylor versus Warhawk in a triple threat. Miles Bain versus Chris Fortune. Eddie Levon is going to take on Leo Fox. Victor Kenway versus Tim Muniz. And Blake Dalton is going to defend the Lionheart title against Derek James. And let's see, in Omaha, Nebraska, Magnum Wrestling is having a show called Hot Magnum Nights at the German American Society. Ivy Malibu is going to challenge Briar Hale for the Hellcat title. Camaro Jackson is going to take on Nino Hatchet. Red Wing is going to defend the Magnum title against Alvin Falcone. Alan Shepard and Brandon Nitro are going to team up to take on Drake Holloway and Relly Carter. Mm-hmm. Ringo is going to battle Duke Cornell. The Crucible is going to take on the Kingdom. And Teddy Mercury is going to defend the Top Gun title against Uriah Upton. Down in Gadsden, Alabama at the Spartan Arena in the Gadsden Mall, which I've been to, John. I saw a show there at the Belladonna division in Gadsden, Alabama. Was one of my very first shows that I covered. Went down there for Terminus in Atlanta and then Belladonna in Gadsden, Alabama. It is a cool little venue. It's nice. It's almost like it used to be a movie theater in a mall. So you walk in, it's theater seating. They've got the curtain. Everybody's entering through the curtain. You've seen that setup before, but it's a nice place. The seating raises up really nice, so they've all got a good view. Pretty fun venue.
Cool. I was gonna say that's a neat take on it.
Yeah. But down there at the Gadsden Mall at New South, we've got 4825, the IWTV Tag Champions, Jaden Newman and Jamison Shook, taking on Only Bros. You've got Positive Lee, which I love that name, taking on Sam Handsome. TNT and Dylan are going to take on Exodus. Big Dave Weaver is going to take on Jake Franklin. The lovely Miss Larkin is going to battle Ravenna Vane. Tyler Stevens is going to take on Mad Dog Connolly. And then there's going to be a contract signing for a future match between the aforementioned 4825 and the Divers. And you know those contract signings, John, they always
always come with some shenanigans. Sometimes they lead to a brouhaha.
That's it. Sometimes they lead to a brouhaha is right. Oh, man, nice callback. Out in Vegas. We don't talk about Vegas much either. But at the LGBTQ Center of Southern Nevada in Las Vegas, Big Valley Wrestling is going to have a show called Loud and Proud. Ricky Tenacious is going to battle Moxie Strokes. Papa Jace versus Bovey. Noah Anderson is going to defend the BVW title against Impact's TNA's JAI, Jai Vidal.
Nice.
Oliver Vegas is going to take on Storm Garcon, and they're going to have a Power of Pride gauntlet match. So who knows what that's going to bring. And finally,
sounds like a good time, though.
It does. Nothing like if we ever get out to Vegas, John, we got to do the casinos, but we also got to find wrestling. We got to get out to the Future Stars Arena or something and catch some Vegas wrestling if we ever get out there.
Hey, I'm down for Vegas, man.
I got to make sure my wallet is.
That one I don't even have to twist my wife's arm on that one.
Good.
If you say Vegas, January's there.
Oh, awesome. Well, good. Then we can bring her too, and she can give her commentary on the shows because she has opinions as well. Oh, that face. He ain't saying a thing. All right. Anyway, so last show to preview for the week. SoCal Pro Wrestling is having a show called Title versus Career. You'll never guess what kind of match is the main event. But it's at the Boys and Girls Club of Vista, California. You got Dynamite Pegasus is going to take on Araxiel. Jake Redondo is going to defend the Golden State title against Red Williams. You got a six-man, Tortuga, Anthony Idol, and Don Caliente versus Eddie Islas, Gunjack, and Fidel Bravo. You got the Lucha Kings defending the tag titles against the Wild Jamaicans. And as the name of the show implies, you're going to have Judiz taking on Matthias, SoCal title versus career.
Ooh.
Loving that shit.
Wow. Hey, man, stakes don't get any bigger than that one.
And that reminds me of another thing. This is why our podcasts go 3 hours. I'm sorry, but reminds me of we didn't talk about this, but I watched Bash at the Brew at the beginning of the month. I think this month's was 53. And the reason I mention that is because I'm calling back to us watching 52. They had a match set up for Bash 53. Danny Everborn versus Rich Wise. Loser leaves Florida.
Okay.
They have the show. Danny Everborn comes out, first match, and he says, bro, I was supposed to wrestle Rich Wise. Loser leaves Florida. That dude already left Florida. I got no match. So Rich Wise just bounced. He said, fuck this. I'm gone.
I'm good.
Oh man, that cracked me up.
So if he left Florida, I'm going to throw some heat on the fire here. If he left Florida, did he really lose?
Yeah. Hey, all you Florida residents, it's John Ag. He is at One Tired Dad on Insta. Anyway, oh my goodness, man. Well, the other thing that I wanted to mention before we get out of here is my big announcement. As I am going back and forth with them, I've been going back and forth with them today. We've set something up with a promotion we've talked about a bunch, and I am a huge fan of. I don't think we've watched anything of theirs together, but I've been talking to the folks at Focus Pro Wrestling up in Massachusetts, and they have a show coming up on July 13th that will be on IWTV for sure. Sorry, I'm trying to pull this up here. And I don't want to make sure I got the matches correctly that they have already announced. But the show is called All the Way Up. It'll be on IWTV. It's going to take place at the Great American Beer Hall in Medford, Massachusetts. I believe bell time is 3 o'clock. Don't quote me on that yet, but I believe bell time is 3 p.m. Yes, no, it says it right here. Bell time is 3 p.m.
All right.
So, John, you and I are going to do a live watch-along of Focus Pro All the Way Up on Sunday the 13th, starting at 3 o'clock. Maybe we'll jump on about 2:45, and we will watch that show from start to finish. And to get us set for that, Evan from Focus Pro Wrestling is going to come on the show. I believe it's going to be the week before that, so that would be like the first or the second that week, the week of July 4th. We're hoping to have Evan come on to what I'm going to call the Focus Pro kickoff show. We'll run through the card. We'll talk about what's going on at Focus Pro and what's coming up at the event, and then that'll tee up our live watch, man. I'm very much looking forward to having Evan
Hey,
on
man,
and talking
that
Focus
sounds
Pro.
awesome.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Yeah, we've been talking about that for a little while. So to actually get those guys on and get another live watch going, man, I'm down.
Yes. I'm looking very much forward to this. The live watch is something that whenever we can squeeze it in, John and I have been talking about it. Whenever we can squeeze in live watch alongs, that we can connect with you people, you listeners, you fans, if we air it on Twitch or if we just do the live audio on Podbean or whatever. But very much looking forward to doing something like that. We've wanted to do it for a while, and Focus Pro is great. The matches that they've got announced already for this, John, they've got a singles match between Leo Sparrow and the Pogo Stick King, Milo Mira. And then
love the Pogo Stick King.
Yeah, man. And then I've got Focus Pro, and I want to ask Evan about this when he comes on. But I've got Focus Pro. I've had them listed as an intergender promotion in my intergender subsection since the beginning. They're like the third intergender promotion I added to that list. And now they are having a women's title tournament. So I'm going to ask Evan if maybe I should switch them from an intergender promotion over to the full men and women's. If that's the direction they're headed. Either way, still love what they do, but
maybe they're growing and transitioning, man. Let's get it from the horse's mouth.
Absolutely. Hey, whatever direction they go, I'm following. So you don't have to worry about that. But they've got this women's championship tournament. First round, they've got 2 matches listed. And I don't know if it's going to be an 8-woman tournament and there's going to be 2 more opening matches. That's going to be 8-4-2, or if it's just these 4 that are going to go down to 2. But either way, they sound to me, I'm pretty sure you were going to agree. You made a mention earlier of that Laney Luck tag team match. You said, that's a first-round match? Mm-hmm. Jesus. I feel the same about both of these women's matches here.
All right.
Your 2 first-round matches for the women's title at Focus Pro. Kaya McKenna versus Brooke Havoc. And then Gabby Forza versus Sammy Chaos.
Oh. Ooh.
You could put that belt on any one of those 4 women, and I wouldn't be shocked.
We've seen Sammy Chaos, so I'd say you could put it on 3 of those women. I'm sorry, you know who you are, Sammy Chaos. I can't bet against her.
No. Me neither. And everyone.
But yes, that is 4 number 1 seeds right there for sure.
100%.
Wow.
And anybody who listens to this show knows we are huge fans of Gabby Forza. So this is not taking anything away from her.
Gabby Forza is a beast. No, but when you're a beast, what beats a beast? I'm going to say a force of nature, and Chaos is a force of nature.
Yeah.
So.
What was it Gorilla Monsoon used to say? The irresistible force meeting the immovable object. That's
a apt description for that match. Wow, Forza Chaos. Whew. Give it to me.
Can't wait. We're gonna watch it live.
Take
folks.
my money.
We're gonna be there live.
Yes.
I'm figuring out all of the logistics because we haven't done live stuff yet. I don't know. I'll make some more announcements as we go forward. Whether we'll be interacting on Twitch or something else, maybe we can interact with you guys or what, I don't know yet. Details coming over the next 2 weeks, how we're going to handle that show and that live watch along. But either way, very much looking forward to it and looking forward to a chance to do something new for us,
Do something new for us. And man, hey, if guys, if you're listening and you want to jump, please get on with us. We need all the help we can get. So
that's why we keep begging British Greg to come on here, man. We need whoever can talk besides us.
We're looking for any interaction with everybody, man. Come hang out with us, dude. We do this because it's a great time for us. And if you like this, like we like this, and come talk to us, bro. We want to talk to you guys. We want to hang with you guys. So
talk your ear
off. Come on,
Don't
let's do this.
Trust, bro.
Yeah, you'll have to shut us up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of us. I'm not saying any names.
Lauryn.
Whoa! Lauryn, your dad said that, not me.
Oh my God, man. Well, speaking of coming up and talking to us, I'll go back to this. Dangerous
Yes.
Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators, June 28th. We will be
Awesome.
at the Sacred Heart Church for the Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators show in New Jersey. As I said, Dr. Zirconium gave us that address plenty of times, but I will give it to you one more time. That is 103 4th Street, Riverton, New Jersey, Sacred Heart Church, Saturday, June 28th. Bell time, 7:30. Doors open at 7. John and I and my daughter Lauryn, we will be there representing Indie Wrestling Experience in some form. If I'm not sure where we'll be or how we'll be set up, but we will be there. You will know we're there. Come say hello to us. We're looking forward to talking to you because that's going to be a hell of an event as well.
Absolutely. Come check out the show. Dr. Zirconium said there's still plenty of tickets. They're available at the door. Man, come watch a great show. Come hang out. Man, let's have a good time.
That's right. Well, John, we've been going for 3.5 hours now. Do you think that's enough, or you got anything else for this week?
My wife is shaking her head behind me. Yeah. She said that's enough. No, I got nothing else, man. It was a great. This was an awesome show, man. We get guests like that, you can't help but go long.
No, 100% agreed. That's why I didn't care. We'll just keep going, and if people want to listen to certain parts of the show because it's so damn long, I get it. I probably would too. But there's a lot of good stuff in here. A lot of good guests. I will say that
Absolutely.
next week we are going to have, as you heard earlier in the show, we will have OVW star Daggett Bundles, who will be here talking about his appearance, his match coming up at the Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators show at the Sacred Heart Church in Riverton, New Jersey. Event.
Bob.
Shit. Sorry, man.
It's an event.
It's an event. The Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators event at the Sacred Heart Church in Riverton, New Jersey. Daggett Bundles will be there. We were just talking about boxer Emmanuel Rodriguez is going to be there. WWE star Tank
Yes,
Tolan.
awesome.
David Goldie.
Awesome.
I mean, it goes on and on. So if you're in the area and you get out to
it's a stat
that
card,
event,
guys.
come see us. Come see us. And tune in next week so you can hear Daggett talk about his journey, OVW, his other projects, all sorts of cool stuff. We're very much looking forward to having him on the show. So until
Absolutely.
then, don't forget to check us out, as always, on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We are Indie Wrestling Experience. On Twitter and on Blue Sky, we are Indie Wrestling XP. Check out the Smug Mug. And I will go back to this because I do want to build this. I want to give anybody a chance to reach out to us. If you want to get your promotion on our Indie Wrestling Experience rankings, John, as of this month coming up, I have added more. There are 80 promotions on the rankings that
Nice.
I am doing. Add your promotion to the list. Get your people ranked. Not that my rankings mean anything necessarily, but we put your guys' names out there. We push your next show on the rankings. It always has your next show listed. So give us a chance to help promote your shows and your folks because I'm sure they've earned it. Also,
and we love watching them. So please get them in our eyeballs, man, because we love them. We love learning more. We love seeing new. Yeah, get them to us, man.
Right, 100%. And if you want us to know to talk about your promotion, if you want to come on the show and be a guest, whatever, you can always contact us on any of those social channels I just mentioned, and also by email at indy wrestlingexperience@gmail.com. All right, well, that's enough for us. We are finally going to wrap up, and I guess we will see you all next week. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, everybody, thanks for listening. Chick Donovan, keep doing what you're doing, brother.
Ooh, yeah, man. No joke.
Yeah.
See you guys.